Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome to my channel. Today, the screen is split because I'm sharing it. Today, I have a very sweet and dear friend hanging out with me and crafting with me. It's Salla. We all know and love her. She's always hanging out with us
Yay!
in the chat. Welcome.
Hello everyone, welcome. And thanks for inviting me here today. I'm so happy.
Absolutely. Oh, the pleasure is all mine. I'm so happy to. Hey, Beth. Hey, Angie. Hi, Kat. Hey, Dawn. Hi, Jennifer. So good to see y'all.
So many people here already. I'm trying to put up my second phone so that I can actually see the comments too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I'm sure I forgot to look at them and I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, hey, I'm never one that can judge. Let me try to get this in a better place. My
Yeah, it's
camera.
it's it's always a little bit of battle
There we
trying to figure out where to put your
position it.
phone and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it's vertical because I'm so used to working in a horizontal frame with like
Oh
most
yeah.
of my desk showing. So this is always an adjustment, but it's so worth it to have a friend craft with me. So um I'm delighted to work in this format if that's what's required. Hey Norma,
Oh,
hi Jennifer, hi Sandy, hi Esther. So good to see you. Alyssa, 5K Lamone's here. Hey, how's it going? Maddie, did I say hi to
oh.
you? Every day I feel like, Maddie, did I say hi to you? I'm going to have Maddie on one day too. Hey,
Yeah.
Zane, good morning. Yoo-hoo Tube, welcome. Austin, Texas, that's where I am. No way. Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
But it's morning for me in Austin, but it could be your afternoon. Hey, time is funny like that. Hi, Michelle. Hey, Paula. Hi, Heidi. Oh, we've got lots of friends here, Sala.
Yeah, exactly. So happy to see everybody.
So let's share what we're working with today.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I'll let you start and introduce it.
Oh, right. So yeah, we are working with my new kit. It's a printable called Heartful Hodgepodge. It has a little bit of everything. I'm actually only having the backgrounds here with me right now because I have already done some fussy cutting and I set the rest of the flowers aside, but we have 40 pages of, um, well, it's mostly fussy cuts actually, 27 pages of fussy cuts, flowers with vintage elements like tickets, clocks, you name it. And then we have 15 background pages together with 3 collage type pages. So it's a huge gift and it's available in my coffee shop. Did I forget something? Probably, but that's what we are working with today.
Yes, I'm kind of flipping through it. I did a lot of fussy cutting last night myself. It was actually really relaxing and exactly what I needed. I just sat in the kitchen and fussy cut for a while, or dining room and fussy cut for a while. I sat in my living room and fussy cut for a while, and it was 100% what I needed. So it was very
Awesome.
therapeutic for me to sit and cut all these. And I just went to town. I cut so much. And I'm so excited about it because even if I don't use it all today, which I doubt that I will, but like I'll have it, I can put it in my ephemera folder,
Hmm.
and use it later. So I'm excited about that.
Exactly. And the great thing is that it comes in so many different colors that it pretty much goes with anything.
Yes, it's a whole rainbow. I love that. And you included different styles of flowers too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's some mixed media, field flowers, more like garden flowers. Yeah.
Well, I'm grateful. Thank you for sending me the kit. I also have some backgrounds. I just have them printed here. And when I was fussy cutting, I thought of this paper pad of mine, and I haven't used my own paper in like a month, you guys. So I figured I wanted to, what I really was pulled to use were the elephants, but I think I might pull out, this is my rainforest refuge paper, and pull out some of the animals and combine them with your flowers and combine some things. Mainly looking for the elephants here. But I kind of wanted to do like an Indian vibe. And I was catching up on a replay on Diane's channel. And there are the elephants. And um, I was really inspired by this card. I think it was a card, but I'm not really sure. It might have been like a mini album. It might have been a journal. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but Debbie Epps was her guest this past Thursday. And
Mm.
I thought, "Ooh, I want to turn that into a card." So that's what I'm going to work on. What are you going to work on today, Sala?
Um, you're so organized because I have no clue. Yeah.
Oh, to call me organized is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, today you are because
Today I'm organized.
all I have is like this huge pile of recycled packaging, mainly from ice lollies. And I'm hoping to make some ephemera, like bookmarks and things like that.
Thanks for a junk journal ephemera.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Awesome.
so. I'm being a
Awesome.
rebel and making like homemade ephemera, although I shouldn't.
Why
Or
not?
the other day, I don't know if you can remember, but in the chat, someone said that someone got really upset about the fact that somebody said that people can make their own ephemera. So I was thinking
Oh,
about that.
I wow. Yeah, I don't even know what to think about that. Like, where do we think junk journaling came from is kind of my my question there is like I think junk journaling was born out of people making their own ephemera and their own things without having printables. I mean, printables came along, right? And
Yeah,
it's funny because like I would say, like paper manufacturers have started designing paper that looks like printables. I think they've really influenced the market. Like when you look at like 49 and Market, even some things that Tim Holtz produces, people in the junk journaling community have been making for a long time, like the faux age tape and his, kind of masterboard frames that he released and his snippet page, the snippet pages that he did, the snippet ephemera, what we would call a snippet roll. So
yeah,
it's funny because I think homemade, handmade ephemera has actually influenced the the paper industry and influenced where we're at right now with crafting supplies.
yeah, yeah. I was just looking at people are trying to guess where I'm from, and Esther just won the main prize. Yes, I'm from Finland. But there was a whole guessing game going on already.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Oh man, such a beautiful part of the world. My husband and I visited, we stayed in Copenhagen with family friends, but then, we went to Norway and Finland and Sweden and all around that area, and it's just gorgeous.
yeah, yeah. We have some really pretty places around here. I'm not going to argue with that. But like I've said before, I believe there's beauty in everywhere.
There
So
is, and if it all looked the same, it'd be really boring.
yeah, exactly that too. So, and I always find it funny, like somebody comes to Finland and says like, "That is so exotic," or something like that, and I do the same whenever I go to Spain or wherever. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool that there are different kind of places.
Straight out of the gate, I have to apologize for what you might hear in the background. My mom's dogs are deciding to wrestle right now. It could potentially get a little out of hand around here today. I really hope that it doesn't. I tried my best to quell them ahead of this live, like, feed them, pet them, let them go outside, and yet they're still roughhousing. So I apologize. And hopefully it won't be too distracting for me and I won't have to reschedule. I really don't want to reschedule. So we're just gonna
That's so
try to
cute.
make it through.
Yeah, we will try our best. Let's see. I'm trying to keep one eye on the comments, but then again, I'm
Yes,
also afraid
I
that I
can
will
help with
cut
that.
my fingers if I do that.
Oh, YouTube was saying hi, good afternoon to you, my dear.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has recently hopped over on my channel. I've seen her
Awesome.
leaving kind comments for me, so I
Aw.
recognized the name. I
Yay.
thought that might be the case, but yeah, we are all over the world here. Like I said, I'm from
Yes.
Finland, so yeah.
I love that about our community.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's so cool. Brings people together from all over the place.
Absolutely. I started my YouTube channel during the pandemic because I had taught card making classes in person. Up to that point, never done anything online. I'd watched channels, I'd been a spectator and engaged in the community as such,
Yeah.
but never had, made a video or done any of those things. And then the pandemic really kind of forced me into that because I didn't know people in real life who were into card making. And so I
Mm.
decided to start a channel so I could find them. And the funny thing is once I started it, um, now I have friends in the Austin area that I've met through my channel that I didn't know before.
Yeah, but when you're walking on the street or something like that, there's no way of knowing who is into what.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly. We have to
so
find each other through these avenues.
yeah, and these days it's less and less places like actual classes
Uh-huh.
or courses or whatever you call them, but then again, there are again more places like paper Kanza or what do you have over there? Um,
Yeah.
and retreats. Oh my
Retreats. Yep.
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also, I feel like that's a new trend in a way.
Yeah, what can be restricting about that is, they can be costly. So it kind of limits who can participate, or there's only a limited number of seats, right, available each time. And so it's just I feel like our social community here on YouTube, and I know others have it on TikTok. I'm just not there, or they have it on Facebook and I'm not there either, or Instagram, but it really does give everyone access to. I need to think about staying in frame here. I'm so used to just using my whole desk, but it
Yeah,
gives everyone access to the information.
yeah. Diane was saying that I have my own ASRM show going on here. I swear I'm almost finished
Oh, I
cutting here,
like it.
so I will stop.
I like the
I
nature sounds of a craft room. I don't mind when I'm watching a video and someone's heat gun is going or they're cutting paper. It is very, to me, it's very soothing.
Yeah, I agree, but then again, we are talking here, and my scissors are being like the loudest scissors ever. So,
Of course. Of course. Well, my dogs are being
uh,
the loudest dogs. They're not even
yeah,
that loud
yeah.
yet, but I'm afraid that they might be.
I haven't heard anything yet, but then again, it
Yay!
might be different for me. I don't know if other people can hear it.
They're totally attacking each other's face, but no, everything's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like Princess isn't being much of a princess.
Right? No, she's not.
Yeah.
Just like, don't call me
Okay.
a princess. I was joking last night with my husband about the dogs, and I was like, they're delicate like bombs, not like flowers. And we just laughed.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. More cutting, just different device.
right? Well, what we got to do. These are the nature sounds of the craft room. So tell
Yeah.
me, what's the weather like there right now?
Today it has been a bit rainy, but
Mm,
other than that, it has been maybe a little bit cooler
nice.
than it usually is, but sunny, nice.
Uh,
I'm not complaining. How about the weather there?
well, I can't complain either. Only because usually by this time we're in triple digits and it's just full on misery around here. But
Yeah,
we've caught a break and we've had more rain than usual. It's cooler than usual. It's overcast today. I mean, it's still blazing hot. But it is better than usual. It's better than it typically is.
yeah. Oh my goodness, I almost had a craft lunch. My
Oh,
pile of recycled stuff is hating on me.
I know all about those. Quite familiar. We have
Yeah,
one just about every day around here.
yeah, it's normal.
That's when everyone gets to see my ninja or cat-like reflexes when I'm trying to stop it from coming in onto my desk, spilling onto my desk.
Yeah. Well, the positive thing about this um narrower that's that view, not the normal one, is
Right.
that you have more time before it actually gets into the frame.
That's true. That's true. I can make an even bigger mess, I think you're trying to say.
There you go.
I can make
Yeah.
an even bigger mess. You can't see all
Exactly.
my
Mess
mess now.
away.
Uh,
My nose is fine. Aw, that's probably the sweetest thing anyone has ever said to me.
yes, your noise
Thank you.
is not bothering
Okay,
me at all.
good, 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 good. I should probably get something done, shouldn't I? Maybe. Hmm.
I
It's
feel like I
always the
might get pulled
starting.
into your ephemera making
Yeah, yeah. I
eventually.
thought I would do something a little bit different today, or not different, but not cards. It's just different for me right now because I have been making so much like dark and gothic stuff this month.
Yes, working on the
Yeah,
Halloween
yeah, exactly.
projects.
So yeah, but it is what it is. I'm actually typically not so much of a Halloween person either. I know you are
Mhm.
not, but
No.
I don't know. I don't mind the uh, like Gothic style crafting. To be honest, that's fine with me. But it's always interesting to switch styles.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is like typically people don't send Halloween cards. I think I can pretty easily say that people just don't typically send those here in the States, but like they are some of the most fun cards to make because I feel like it's easy to kind of go wild and have fun with them and do a lot of mixed media, just kind of like a little bit out of the loop there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I'm on Petals and Parchment's design team, and she made
Uh-huh.
two huge kits for Tunetober. And one of them was like Sleepy Hollow themed.
Mm,
So,
that's cool.
uh, yeah, it wasn't too creepy at all. And she also made this other one. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was like Midnight Masquerade.
Oh, okay,
So they're
cool.
just like cool.
Kind
Do
of
I have the
gothic.
paper somewhere? Yeah, yeah, kind of gothic. It has literally masks and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah,
I
so
like
it's
masquerade theme stuff. It's funny because I like drama and I like storytelling and the things that I make. So you know, I don't know. I'm here and there with it. It just depends on the day and how I feel. I did recently get a Tim Holtz stamp set that has like Dracula and Fendi, the Mummy, and like it a witch. It has all those kinds of things in it.
yeah,
And I do want to use it, but I want to use it kind of like in a storytelling way or a snarky or funny way. And that's kind of how I
yeah,
do Halloween. I do it a little different.
yeah. And I think you did the series of like
Not
I
another
can't remember.
Halloween card.
Yeah, yeah, exactly
Using
that.
Halloween projects, but not really making Halloween cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
So
fun.
that was fun. Exactly.
I did enjoy that quite a bit. Um,
But I think that's just another great example of you know really using your stash and
yeah,
just picking something you like and making it into something else entirely.
true. Very
I think
true.
that's yeah, and I think that's good for the crafty mojo too. So
Stretch your
I think it's awesome.
creativity and use things in an unexpected way.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to check in with everyone. We've got some more people joining us.
Yay.
So, hey, Elizabeth, I can only guess that you haven't gone to sleep, that you haven't had your nights yet. But maybe by whim you're just awake today. Either way, I'm glad you're here, girlfriend. Um, and hi, Diane. Oh, Diane's the rumors. The rumors. Diane, I am inspired by that Asian. I don't know if it was a card. It was like the Asian inspired project that Debbie shared on your channel when y'all were making on Thursday. I had to catch the replay, but that's what I'm basing this card on today is inspiration of that one. So, yay. And I loved your cards, Diane, so much. Like really really loved those. She did these really nice like beachy cards with these really cute like portraits, but then she wrapped twine around them and charms and they were just so fabulous.
That sounds awesome. I have to go check that out.
Yeah, they were great.
I feel like I'm always behind on what
There's
people
no
are
way to keep
making.
up.
Yeah,
It's impossible. It's just impossible. I gave myself the grace of not worrying about it anymore because we can't. She even talked about that actually, I think in that live about there's just so many content creators, there's so many crafters, which is awesome.
yeah,
You can't keep up with all of them.
exactly. It's impossible. Um,
But I
so
dip my toes in, and one way that I keep up is I'm subscribed to everybody, so I'll go through and look at their thumbnails and read, and I'm like, "Oh, that's what she's up to. Oh, that's what
yeah,
they're doing. Okay, cool." That's kinda how I keep up these days.
that's
And then
actually really smart.
watch when I can, you know?
Yeah,
But I follow thumbnails, so you guys put your art in your thumbnails because that's how I keep up. Do me a
yeah.
solid.
I had a little bit of a hard time because I recently took part in a YouTube hub, and we were supposed to use the same kind of thumbnail for the videos. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but I feel like usually I'm trying to give people an idea of what I'm
Yes.
making so that they can
Yes.
actually decide if they want to watch or
Watch
not.
the video. I 99% of the time I'm gonna choose a thumbnail that has the project on it over one that doesn't.
Yeah,
But that's me,
exactly.
and that's not everybody. But I do find that it always pulls me in to see the project is, and then I'm like, "Ooh, I wanna see them make that. I wanna see that being made," you know?
Yeah,
That draws me in the most. I will say that
yeah.
when I do hops that have the pre-made thumbnails, I tend to get fewer views. I don't know what it is. I have no idea why, and it could just be me. It could be a me problem and not
Mm,
them, but I have noticed that.
my channel is still so small
Mhm.
that for me it actually did a lot of good.
Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I get why they do it because, like, if someone's following a hop, they can easily see, like, "Oh, this video goes to that hop." Like, it makes perfect
Mm,
sense.
yeah.
Um, I get it.
But
It's
at
a
the
great
same time,
idea
there could also be like a frame on the thing
on the
on the
thumbnail.
thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that everyone could put their project on because it's also a little bit confusing because you just see the same thumbnail and you can't really know um, which video you have already seen and whatnot. So
Mhm.
mm.
Well,
Yes, it's Salla
hello.
here, and hello, Linda. Hi, Kim.
Yes. Hi, Linda Veal. Good to see you. I'm not backtracking today, you guys. So if I've missed, I know y'all been commenting. I've been seeing it scroll by. Hi, Kim. If I've missed something, or if you have a question for me or Sala, or if you want to know anything, uh, best type it in now because if you typed it in before and you're waiting on me, I can't go back. If I go back, we all know this by now. It's a recipe for disaster. I'll be way behind. So I'm just going to keep it scrolling.
Yeah, so if we miss you, keep screaming.
Yeah, that's kind of my poor people. That's what they kind of have to do around here.
Yeah, I'm usually trying to be the one in the chat who like take notes, and if somebody asks something, I try my best to answer.
You're an
But I'm not
awesome
doing that
mod.
today.
You're an awesome mod. I appreciate it. You and
Thank
Dawn
you.
always helping me out, helping a girl out.
Yeah, but it's not easy to make a project and try to keep up with all the so-called chatterboxes.
Yes, I get lost in the crafting a little bit. And then storytelling and, you know, keeping things from falling onto my desk in a craft lunch. There's just a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, and I think that's perfectly understandable.
But I'm here for the people, you know? I love the live engagement.
Oh yeah,
I just love
yeah,
it.
yeah. There's that. But it's a struggle sometimes. I get that.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up and yeah, like saying hi to everyone and then trying to figure out if I actually said hi to everyone.
Yeah. That's me. I think every day
Yeah,
I'm like, "Maddie, did I say hi to you?" I don't know why I
yeah,
do that to her, but it's always Maddie. Well, hopefully she's always getting double hellos that way.
yeah. Elizabeth is asking what my channel is called. It's called CardTimesAhead.
Yeah. And your card times ahead on Instagram as well, right?
Yep, Instagram, TikTok, Kofi, you name it.
Yeah, awesome. And so if you like the flowers and this hodgepodge kit that we're playing with today, that's in your Kofi shop, right? Or
Yes,
coffee. I don't know which way to pronounce it. Guess you
yeah,
just
I
pronounce
just
it any way
pronounce
you
it.
want. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, it's available in both sides. I mean sizes, um, A4 and also in letter size. So, but when if you purchase the kit, you get a link that connects you to Google Drive or sends you there, and then you have to download the kit from there. It's one PDF, but it's a big PDF because it's 40 pages.
40
So
pages. I was like, "Oh my
yeah,
gosh."
yeah, I thought that was funny. It's your fault that this whole thing happened. Because we were talking about what we should be working on
Mhm.
and like what to do, and Pity said that we can work with one of your kits, and I was like, I haven't actually designed anything in a bit,
Oh,
so
you and me both.
we'll see. But yeah, um,
W
then this happened.
Well, I don't feel bad about it because I like it.
Awesome. You should not feel. You were actually my muse, so
Oh, I love
yeah,
being amused.
yeah, exactly. That's a good thing.
I can hang with that. And I'm
Oh,
loving this. I'm having a lot of fun with it already.
awesome. I'm glad.
So when you were designing the kits, I printed all of mine on photo paper. I noticed some pages were softer in color than others. Was that part of your design aesthetic, like something you were
Like
going for? Or did I print incorrectly?
softer, how like these, where one is really sharp and one is soft.
Of color, yeah.
Yeah, it is intentional because
Mhm.
I part of this kit is like really vintage
Uh-huh.
and part of it is not.
Right. I liked
So
that. I liked the variety.
yeah, so I don't know. I guess it's part of the design.
Cool. I
Not,
like it.
yeah, yeah. It's I
I just
know it's
noticed
not like super
some
cohesive,
of my
but
flowers kind of came out like more soft than others, like these, for example. Like, so
um
I got some that were kind of soft like this, and others that
yeah,
had like a stronger tone.
yeah, exactly. It's like one of them is more like watercolor and
Uh
one of
huh.
them is I don't know, more realistic or I don't
Fendi. Sorry.
photorealistic
Fendi.
something.
It's okay. Sorry. I know I yelled right in y'all's ear. I won't do that again. I will
No,
turn.
it wasn't bad. It
Okay.
wasn't
Ooh.
bad at all. Don't worry. So I was
So,
supposed to check what the parameters or Parameters. Oh my
Parameters.
goodness, I can talk today. Wherefore, craft roulette, does anyone know?
If Paula's here, Paula's here. Hi, Paula. Hi, Cheryl. She knows. Paula knows. It was Kite Colors, a thank you card. I can't. Oh, space, and I can't remember the random.
Hmm,
Um,
that's interesting.
yeah, it's always interesting. Mr. Wheel keeps it very interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Hi, Flo. She said Paula knows everything.
uh,
Let's see. Yeah, I just don't know what the random was. I can't remember, even though I watched the show. Can't. I watched the show and fussy cut. That's what I was doing. Thank you color. Thank you card. Kite colors. Space element. Oh, high. Highfalutin paper. How could I forget that? I thought that was the funniest parameter ever. Highfalutin
what?
paper. Highfalutin is kind of like how do I explain that? It's a slang term of like
uh,
your highfalutin is like, you're so fancy, basically.
oh, so fancy
Like
paper, basically.
so fancy paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think I could make this my craft roulette card because I've got this gold embossed star paper. I had to use it again. Elephants take up a lot of space. Kite colors, these bright flowers and the yellow. And then I just need to turn it into a thank you card. And I would be there. This could be a roulette card for this week.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something I was like thinking about, that it would be possible to make a craft roulette card while hanging
While we
out with
craft.
you. Yeah,
Hmm.
but but you know, I forgot to check. So I'm
There we
just
go.
making ephemera.
Paula's got us covered. Yeah,
I
Paula, I
need
think
some
this will
tape.
be my oops. I think this will be my craft roulette card for this week.
Yeah, someone had a really great suggestion. They said that we need name tags on the desk.
Oh,
Let's
that would be
see.
handy. I have tattoos on my fingers. Do you have
Yeah,
tattoos?
I just put my
Yeah.
name
Oh, there you
and
go.
yeah.
You got it.
Okay, back to crafting. But yeah,
Yeah, because
that's a really good idea because
it
people were
is.
coming in and asking, "Who is that girl?"
Who is that? Who's that lady?
Yeah, I mean, I'm no lady, but
Sure you are.
something like that.
Let's see. I think I want even more. More.
We always want more. That's
Mm-hmm.
a thing. I need an eyelet, but oh my goodness, I'm out. There we go. What color do I want? That one probably. There we
Oh,
go.
when I was watching Diane and Debbie craft, Diane brought up so many good points about Timu and like, so she lives in Australia and talking
Mm,
about like, she was saying like she had wanted the Tim Holtz snarky sentiment stickers, which I have. I have been using them lately. And here in the
yeah,
States, they're like $5.99. That's what I paid for them at Hobby Lobby. And that was when they weren't even on sale. That's just the regular price, $5.99. Well, she was saying in Australia that same pack of stickers is like $15.99. And no, I wouldn't pay that either, Diane.
yeah,
And she was talking about how, Timu is great. Like, we're all adults here. We don't have to buy the things that we know are kind of stolen, right? That
yeah,
but it's good for brads and lace and we all have different budgets. I've always said that, I get that. It's not lost on me. We all have different budgets. I blow mine all the time. Um, I'm no I set no example to follow, that's for sure. But it was just so enlightening, and I thought it was a really good discussion and a really yeah, just a kind of informative, a good perspective. I just really enjoyed the discussion and her perspective on, Timu and some of those other things. And, she was like, yeah, if you know that something's being stolen, like report it, like don't buy it. I think the hard part is like for me because I don't keep up with all the new releases of all the places anymore. I never really know. I won't know everything that's out there and if it is stolen or not. I think is my thing, and that's how I've always felt anyways. But then she brought up a good point of like, well, just don't buy the stencils, don't buy the stamps if you don't feel comfortable with those because you don't know if they were, you know, stolen or not or whatever. I just thought it was a really great discussion.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I feel really well. Shortly put, I'm strongly against Timu, and I really don't want to promote or support even them in any way. But that's my personal opinion. People don't have to agree with me. I'm just that's me. Somebody else will
right.
think differently.
Well, she kind of addressed that. She's like, look, we all get to decide, where we put our money and where we spend our
Yeah,
money and how we spend our money. And I couldn't agree more. It was just really it was good because yeah, um they had reached out to me early on to see if I would want to do a sponsored video. And the pay was the highest I've ever been offered. I mean, very
yeah,
nice numbers, but I just wouldn't
yeah.
do it. I was like, I can't. Even though it was all brand new, I just was like, I can't. I can't do it.
Yeah, and
you
I
know?
I totally respect you for that. I know it's a great catch, but at the same time I can't help but wonder how are they able to pay such great sums to creators? That's something that like if they sell products that cost like much less than in
Right. Like,
yeah,
there's not a large profit margin on the things that they're selling. So how can they offer such high commissions and high like sponsorship prices? That's what you're saying.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And thank
Well,
you so
my
much,
mom loves
Elizabeth.
it. I know lots of people who love it. And, I think everybody, it's the great thing about being an adult is we all get to pick where we spend our money and how we do it.
Yeah,
And I do like the idea of affordable craft supplies. And I like the idea of her hobby not being so expensive because when I first started, I was on the Dave Ramsey plan. As you can imagine, crafting and Dave Ramsey they don't go together very well. And I've spent a lot more than I ever thought I would. I remember when I first started card making and I would look at the prices of stamp sets and I would just be in shock, just complete and utter shock at what it would cost. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would never pay that. And now I have a room that is overflowing. I have paid
yeah,
all the monies for it. Um, I could never judge, that's for sure.
yeah. I used to buy stuff from Wish whenever I started crafting, but later on, when I was reading more about the well everything, I just chose that I would not do that anymore. So these days, I'm like I have a big enough stash as it is. So
Yeah.
if I can't afford something, then I just won't buy anything. I will save my money and see if it's available later on. But it's I've seen so many really, really interesting discussions about Timu and such places. So yeah, it definitely gets people talking,
It's
which is
interesting to
always
hear
positive.
perspectives, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think one thing that I know that here in America, something we're missing is the ability to have like differences of opinions and it not entrench you against someone, but to share them openly and to be willing to hear other people's perspective and not be offended and not be adversaries about it. Like, I think that's something we're really missing in our society here. I don't know how it is in Finland, but we're really missing that here in America. Like, we're missing that ability to have a difference of opinion, but it not, um, like where we can share our differences openly and still walk away and shake hands and say, okay, well, that was interesting, hear each other
yeah,
out. And, um, so I'm always open to that, and I feel like it's something we need more of.
yeah, exactly. There are many sayings about that. Um, Probably, oops, wrong side. I'm supposed to cover this. But yeah, many different sayings, but like hate the game, not the player, or
Ah, yes.
know,
Mhm.
so you can disagree with someone but still respect them. And I also think that's super important.
Agreed. Totally agreed. Yeah. So, um, I found this sentiment in my Tim Holtz. This is not the snarky one, it's one of the others. Just says regular stickers, but it says keep room in your heart for the unimaginable. And I like that because the element for craft roulette was space. And I think room, space, like keep room in your heart. That's keep space in your heart.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's really, really, really um, creative, I think.
yeah, so
Like, I didn't even think of that
I'm going to use
because,
that one.
yeah, my first idea was like, hey, space, that's like really random. I was actually thinking about the outer space, but yes, it can be room to
Yes. Well, last
it.
night, Mary made us, an astronaut space card, and
Yeah,
um, her guest made a like open spaces, like a sunset kind of card, a nature card, like an open space outside.
yeah, and it could also be like empty space on your design. Like, if
Yes.
you only, yeah,
Yeah. One of my favorite things about craft roulette is when right after she spins and you get the parameters and everything everyone starts chatting about like space, like how do they interpret space, and like a big
yeah.
sentiment takes up a lot of space on your card, so it could be a big thank you sentiment. Like I love that part of the show. I just find it to be so enriching creatively to hear everyone's ideas about the parameters and how they interpret it.
Oh, absolutely. It's always funny to see how differently people's brain work.
Mhm.
So it
So many
it not just
possibilities.
about craft roulette, but everything in life.
Exactly. Even just the things we were just discussing. Let me say hi to more
Yeah.
people. Miss Ava Lee's here and Zal Storm's here. Hey, hey. I'm fine with a difference of opinions, but not when buying. Yeah, I get it, Kim. But like Diane was saying, like when it comes to lace and brads and things like that, it's not. I don't know how Temu works. Like if it's different vendors, I have zero idea. So I really can't speak much to it, because I don't know how it works. I have zero idea. Um, but yeah, it was just interesting. And I think it is, worth discussing and hearing what others have to say on the subject.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
um,
I know we speak with our money, with our buying power. I get that too. I'm almost have my first card done. How are you doing over there?
I got one bookmark done,
Awesome.
and that's it for now. I'm
Cool.
making my second project, and this is going to be like a journal card, I guess.
Okay. Nice.
Bye,
I-
Cheryl. Have a good day.
Bye, Cheryl. Glad you were here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a nice Saturday. I don't have to work too much this weekend, and I'm pretty excited about that. I feel like the dogs are going to give me enough work, that's for sure.
Yeah, but
So I
it's
did a card with a flap um, that wraps around it as a closure. That was kind of the idea that I took from the one that was on that Debbie had made. Was, oh, I want to make a card with a flap on it. I haven't done that in a while, so that was fun.
yeah.
Um, I put my paper too close to my edge to my fold here, you guys, and you notice I keep folding it down, but it's just not going to work. So I just distressed it, and it's going to flip up, and it's going to be kind of distressed and gnarly right there, but it's okay. It's totally fine. It does need a thank you somewhere, but I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to move on
It's
from it now.
mystery.
There's another card I want to make.
Yeah.
I had when I was fussy cutting out all your flowers, I was coming up with ideas, ideas and more ideas. Bitty Penny, did Dave Ramsey's plan work for you? Not really. I mean, sure, if I followed it, it would have worked. Um, I am the free spirit of between my husband and I. I'm the free spirit when it comes to spending and saving and all of those things. I have a very funny haul video coming up for you guys. I'm gonna try to have it out next week. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely the free spirit. I have to be tamed.
No, 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 no. Nobody wants to tame you.
I
Just
have to be
roam free.
wrangled in.
Yeah.
Somebody stop her. All right. I think this is the paper I wanted to use.
But it's I've personally been so inspired by you because we have, or let's say that my style was really, really different when I started crafting. It was always like really neat and everything was lined up and so on. But you are like a rebel when it comes to card making and so on. Like you use a lot of color, which I didn't do, and so on. So I've learned so much, and it's been just fun following your crafty
Aw.
adventures, so to speak.
Aw. That touches my heart. Thanks, Salla.
Oh,
Well, I'm so glad. That's so funny you say that because the other day I was like, will I ever really fit into like the card making world? I don't know because I definitely stared away from the pack when it came to I just really when I started doing more collage and stuff. And I've always liked ephemera. Crazy Paper Chick, gosh, I miss her. Um,
yeah.
but she was the one I'll never forget. She was using a lot of Spellbinders kits back in the day, and I it was before I had a channel or anything. And um, she was like, "Sometimes I feel like I'm cheating making these cards so fast with all this ephemera, but I just love it." And, um, she was one that I was like, "Oh, you shouldn't feel like you're cheating. You're making beautiful cards. Isn't that the goal here?"
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have, you know that's I basically, like, it can be anything you want. Like, I think that the goal is like a beautiful end result. However you get there is how you get there. And I think if you're having fun, then you can't possibly be messing up.
Yeah, definitely. And if I was you, I would not worry about fitting in because you really don't have to fit in.
Yeah, I think I have
It's
to get over that in my head.
Yeah, but it's the imposter syndrome, I know.
Yeah.
But it's like people are watching your videos. We are getting inspired. Like Flo is saying too, she agrees, and she's saying that you have influenced her a lot too. Definitely read
Oh,
her comment. And
thanks, Flo.
others are saying the same thing. We all enjoy your free spirit. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, um, I just think that I was telling we were joking the other day, my husband and I, because um, I was like, I'm just kind of always chasing a good time. Like, I just want to have fun. I am definitely one of the girls who just wants to have fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, um, for me, that comes in experimentation um, and freedom.
Yeah.
That's where find my fun for sure. And I think, back to kind of like this, what we were talking about, Timu and stuff. But one thing that had kind of come up for me was, you know, years ago, I discovered printables. And um, one of the things I was going to ask you today, Sala, actually, this will lead into a question I had for you. But printables make things so much more affordable. I love my
Mm.
printables, and I started using them in my card making um, years ago. And one thing that I always tell people who are maybe just beginning is if you have a printer, it's worthwhile to use printables and, um, you know, let them do some of the heavy lifting for you and try new, like if you're like, oh, I think I want to try a whole new style or a new kind of design or whatever. I think it's really great. Or if you need like a one off, like you can get a printable for a couple of bucks versus a stamp set that's 15 or 20. So if you need a
Yeah.
sushi card, I'd rather buy a sushi printable than a sushi stamp set because how many times am I going to use a sushi stamp set, right? Um,
Exactly.
and I think that like there's a certain freedom in printables because you can always print more. And so I think there's just a lot of freedom in them.
Absolutely. And you can also, like, whenever you buy a whole paper pad, you get the certain amount of papers, and you might not like some of them. Some of those you will love. So with printables, you can take your pick. You don't have to even print all of it. You can just
Right.
print one page 7 times and the other not at all. So that is really a good
And you can
thing about
resize
printables.
things,
Yeah.
and so one thing I like to tell people who are just getting started is look at printables because it would be an inexpensive way to try out the hobby. I mean, also paper packs. Um, but you don't have to have as many things and you can try things out. You can try out different um motifs, different themes, explore different things pretty inexpensively through using printables.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I wanted to ask you today, leading into my question for you, was if we had any new crafters and paper crafters here, what advice would you give a newbie? Someone who's just getting started, what advice would you give
Oh,
them in this hobby?
oh.
Do you have
that
any?
is such that is such a wide. I probably have so many. Um, I think for me personally, I would tell myself, uh, don't buy something only because you get it for like
Because
only
it's on
because you get
sale.
it cheap, basically.
Hmm.
So I made the mistake. Of course, that is a great way to build your stash when you are just a beginner. Like when there's a good sale or something is like, you know, when a shop really wants to get rid of something and they sell it really, really cheap. Um, you can build your stash like super fast. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like in the beginning, especially when I didn't have much money to use, I bought really random things and
Mm.
they end up not matching basically. But I don't know. Also, I heard one really good advice from someone else. They said that when you buy something new, think of five or seven or three or however many ways you want to
Hmm.
think of using that product and only then
Yes.
make the decision if you want to buy it. So
Yes.
yeah, and of
I
course there are
agree with
always
that.
yeah.
I do. I also think though that there have been purchases that I've made or like the kits that I've gotten where I'm like last month the Simon Says Stamp one I with or I guess it was for this month. Wasn't really all that excited about it, and I don't know how much I'll use it to be honest, but I did
Mm,
end up using it and liking it more than I initially thought I would. Um, and I think our styles, I noticed it took me years to kind of find out what brought me joy. I do think you have to try lots of things, right? Like,
yeah.
is your joy in coloring? Is your joy in stamping? Is your joy in collage? Really have to try it to know. And I would say that your joy can change and like your style can change, your interest can change. I mean, if it didn't, how we'd be kind of maybe a little bored if we weren't trying new techniques, new styles, new supplies.
Yeah, and I remember I when I started crafting, I used to hate vintage. I was like, why would anyone take a paper and intentionally make it look old and wrinkled and all of that? But these days, it's like my favorite thing in the world. So that's just um, never be afraid of trying out new things. And
Yeah.
even if like I said about your channel, my style used to be really different from yours,
Hmm.
and that was so inspiring to me because often if you think that somebody else's style is different from yours, you might be like, I just will skip that video, I won't even watch it, and so on. But I don't know. It's just I think we can learn from everyone, so just keep your eyes
Absolutely.
open.
I agree. And it is cool to see different styles because you can take, little bits and pieces from each person and compile it into with your imagination and make something that is truly your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would find inspiration in unexpected places.
Absolutely.
I want to hear what everyone's saying in there. Flo is
And
saying find your style before you invest. Yeah, Flo, I had to buy all of the things before I had a clue that, wait a minute, alcohol markers and coloring is not my thing. But I had to go down that rabbit hole first to discover that that wasn't my thing. So that is an aspect of it for sure. And John says that he doesn't really have a style. I don't really have a style either, Kim. I've been enjoying
mm,
using Crafty House sheet loads. Yeah, they're great. They're great. Kim, I would say build your stash by buying kits. It's a good way to see what you like. I agree with that, Kim, because you get a variety of products depending on the kits that you subscribe to. I would say a cherry on top, Simon Says stamp. Um, those two in particular are the ones that I think give you the most variety of different kinds of craft supplies to try. Some months they're sending you foil, ink pads, embossing folders. It's not just paper or stamps or whatever. I think they send you a good variety so that you can really try some different things. So I agree with that, Kim. Great way to start your stash building and to experiment. And you get the random element of surprise.
yeah. And of course, it's it's always a little bit tricky giving advice to somebody else because we all have our
Yes.
own way to learn and our own taste and so on. Like you could say to someone that don't buy all the markers that there are before you know if you are going to love those. But
Uh-huh.
then again, sometimes when you buy a set of markers that's like really cheap or whatever happens to be available at that time, they are bad in quality and you happen not to enjoy coloring with them at all, and then you end up thinking like, yeah, all the markers must be like this and I will just hate them all, which might not be
True.
the case. So I
True.
don't know, it's
You
just
know my struggle with markers. Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's true. And absolutely. And there is something to be said for quality. I think that that really comes into effect when you talk about watercolor. Not all watercolors are created equal. And I think if you're using one that's more like, I understand the philosophy of starting with an expensive set to even see if you like using watercolor.
Mm,
But I do think that they're worth the investment because you can get a really good quality set for less than $50 easily, that would
yeah.
last you years and years and years. And the better the quality, because it's easy with watercolor to be doing everything right, but if the watercolors aren't a good quality, you won't know that you're actually doing everything right because they're just not going to perform right. I think that they're
Mm,
one supply. For me, alcohol markers are kind of all created equal personally. I mean, the formulas, they might be slightly different, but for me, an alcohol marker is pretty much an alcohol marker. Um, but and it's probably because I don't use them every day, but like watercolors I don't feel like are the same. Watercolors I feel like, the quality does matter. Um, but yeah, it's so same kind of philosophy. Like if you got a really cheap set of watercolors and you were trying and you just felt like you weren't getting the results, in those cases, it can actually just be the set that's setting you
yeah.
back.
But
Hey,
then
Lou
again, somebody
David.
goes and buys like super expensive set and that's not good quality either. So I don't know. It's just
Yeah, it's
if you
tricky.
are on a budget, go and see some reviews.
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely. Yeah, there's plenty of videos to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like that's what I'm saying. It's so difficult giving advice to somebody because there's so many things to consider.
There's so many variables.
Yeah,
Yeah, even
it's
in
crazy.
our environments, like my home and my environment's incredibly humid. Yours might be really dry. Therefore, we might get different results. And different people like different things,
Yeah, exactly.
genuinely. Something I love, you may not, and that's okay.
So yeah.
Um, well, hi, Lou David. I showed your card and I loved your card. Thank you for sending me one. It's so good to see you here this morning.
Oh,
Spoiler
pity
alert,
somebody.
alcohol markers aren't my thing, Angie.
Someone was asking earlier if you were about to put some new papers out.
I have been kind of slowly, like a snail, working on some. Yeah, I have a few different ones in mind, and I haven't. And Salla, I know you and I are kind of a lot of like in this way, but like I can get overwhelmed and I can have to like separate things out, and I just can't force myself into things.
Mm,
Um and so I been overwhelmed working so much that I don't have the headspace for everything all the time. That's the best way I can explain it. And so I've been out of the headspace, but yes, I have some things. I even maybe have a potential collaboration coming up with a designer. So I'm trying.
ooh,
I'm trying. I figure there's a lot to buy out there. So if we have to wait a little while between releases, that's okay too.
yeah. But yeah, I get that about the headspace because I've been on a couple of design teams. I still
Mm-hmm.
am on yours and then Elizabeth's from
Mm-hmm.
Petals and Parchment. And I recently joined a third one, but I'm not going to say anything about that yet because
Well,
it hasn't been
congrats though.
officially, thank you. It hasn't been like
Announced
released
official.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to hold on to that information for now. But I recently quit a design team, and after that, I was like in really high mojo moment. I felt like I could just create and create and create.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was finally kind of making things for myself in a way
Uh-huh.
because when I'm in too many design teams, and especially in a design team where they put all sorts of new products out at the same
Constantly.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every day there's a new kit. I start to feel like I can't work with my own products, or I can't work with this paper pad because I would actually need to be working with something design team related.
Uh-huh.
And I start feeling the guilt, and then I end up doing nothing.
Yep.
So
I
yeah, I
understand.
completely get it. Yeah,
I do. I was on a bunch of design teams early on in my channel, and I just had to quit them all because of that kind of thing.
yeah,
And now I say yes with a lot of consideration when I do say yes. And I have to have a lot of freedom. And I'm just very selective now because um, I did find the same thing. Like, I really struggled to keep the momentum and also keep my individuality when I was on too many at the same time.
yeah. It's like it's so awesome, and it's flattering above all to be
Yes,
in a design team, especially the first
absolutely.
ones. But yeah,
And I think when you're first starting out, you think, oh my gosh, could I be on a design team? Is that possible? And someone says, yeah, I
yeah,
want you on my team. And it, like you said, it's so flattering and it's so awesome. and you want, like, as crafters, I think we all want these small businesses, or even if they're large businesses, to do well. Like, we want them to keep coming out with things. But there is
Exactly.
a pressure that comes with, like, am I sharing something new? Am I sharing something unique? Is this something people, you know, yeah, it's a balance. It's all about balance.
And not only that, you're like s- all the time you're questioning yourself. Is this
Yes.
perfect? Is this
Yeah.
something that really makes the company look good?
Right. Is
And
this good enough?
yeah,
Yep.
so I don't
Where
know.
if you're just
It's
crafting
just
for yourself, you don't have that same kind of pressure.
no, not at all. And
Yeah, I know.
but it's been a struggle in many ways. But I was thinking and even saying to some people like, who am I? Like, where did where did all of this come from?
Mm,
When I found the flow.
again,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's the
But
freedom. Like, I don't plan much. We all know that. I love to come into my craft room, turn on the light, and go, what do I want to make today? Like,
yeah,
and for me, that keeps me charged. That keeps me going. It keeps me in my flow to have that kind of freedom.
absolutely.
Okay, so I wanted to take your flowers when I was cutting these out. I thought these were so pretty. This was the first page I printed, and I wanted to make kind of like a wallpaper with them. So that's what I've done
That's
with
so
this one.
cool. That's so awesome. I love it.
So now I got to add some pearls. I just gotta.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely calls for some pearls. It's so fancy.
Oh, Linda, thank you. Linda, you're amazing. She was saying being on your design team's best ever. Because I
Yeah.
never want anyone to feel pressure. There's no deadlines. There's none of that. It's like, here's some stuff. Have fun. That's all I want. Just have some fun. Take a picture or two. Um, and we're good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part.
I need to design more for my team. That's what I need to do.
Yeah,
But I
and
figure
I
everyone's busy. Like, I don't know. With my because it's not, yes, it's a business, but also not really. It's really just an extension of my hobby, this making paper and selling paper part. Um, it's not paying the bills. It's not even designed to. It's not even That's not what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to build a big business off of it or anything. I just one day was crafting and thought, I can design 6x6 or 6x8 paper in a really cool way for 5x7 card makers. And that's where it really kind of all began. So I do better when I compartmentalize things. And my hobby is my hobby.
so
And
is it like one more way for you to be creative,
yes,
perhaps? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the same for me.
yeah,
Like that's when I was making this kit, that's one thing that I thought of. It's just another form of creativity,
expression and,
really.
and
Yeah.
creativity. Yep, absolutely. Wow. It was all random, like how many pearls I put on my desk and how many dots of glue I put on this card, but it all worked out.
Perfect.
I feel like I
Love
should
when that
put a
happens.
sentiment on it. Are you using paint? Sorry, I didn't see. No, I just used my scorched timber, the color I can't get away from. I wouldn't even try. Um, I embossed. First of all, I used Salla's background paper. It was a really soft pastel one. I embossed it with my 3D embossing folder. My new one from Tim Holtz, I love these that are so big and huge because they're perfect for 5x7 card makers. So I used this one and embossed that background. Then I ink blended it after I ink blended my flowers too. Each of these are fussy cut flower bunches. Let me hold it up here for you. I had fussy cut all those. I ink blended around them, and then I ink blended the whole thing. And
That's so cool.
that's how I
That
came
is
up with
like
that.
super awesome. It's
Oh,
the texture in the background and everything. It's perfect.
oh, thank you. I mean, I kind of feel like it needs something else, but I don't know what to put.
Maybe
A
a
sentiment.
sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, if like you definitely or absolutely want to put something in there, but I just think it's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Well, you did a great job. You made it
Thank you.
easy for me.
But it's like
Um,
I personally would have never thought of doing that. So, but
well,
that's the
that's
best
what's
part.
so cool, right? Like, I'm always blown away when I see what people are doing with the papers I designed. And like the Kendra's team, her design team used my papers every month. And the things that they would come up with, my mind was blown. And it's just so funny. Like, I can't even conceptually think of all the possibilities when I'm designing the paper, but it's so cool to see it out there and see what people do with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I would be so thrilled. Of course, I'm seeing what you're making now, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what people end up making
Mhm.
because, yeah, like
It's
we
so
discussed
cool.
earlier, yeah, everyone's brain works in different ways. So,
Mhm. Well, I love paper. It's my favorite medium, that's for sure.
yeah,
Endless possibilities.
yeah, like Desiree always says, like, she says the same thing that it's her favorite medium
Oh, yeah.
because of how many things you can do with it.
Absolutely.
This is awesome.
Zinjen was saying she was watching something from my studio 4 years ago. Yeah, I need to revamp mine too. I've been getting inspired. More people have been sharing inspiration, like crafty storage and organization and sharing their spaces. And I've definitely been inspired and I need it. I want my space. I'm ready for my space to be more tidy, less cluttered. Um, I can find things, but it's only by a miracle and because I am like a visual person. I have a visual recall, what photographic memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I have been in the process of like reorganizing over here, and just a couple of days ago, I did some reorganizing and I changed the places where I put everything. And now I'm already convinced that I don't like it.
There's
Like,
that.
yeah, I would want everything to be super neat and like everything would be put away in the drawers and stuff. But um, I hate going to look for it,
Yeah,
if that makes
I
any
am
sense.
definitely one of those people who like to have things. I want it all out. I want it out in
Yeah.
the open. I want it out in front of me because I know that I'll use it. If I put it in a drawer, I'll forget about it. It's just how my brain works. And I feel like my creativity flourishes when everything is out. It's an eyesore for any normal person to walk into, But I can't really worry about that because this space isn't for anyone but me. And that's what I
Yeah.
keep telling myself is like, well, the space isn't for guests. It's not for show. It's for me to work in. And so
Mm.
but even for me, I do want a little more organization and order.
Yeah, I agree. And if I say yeah one more time, I feel like I've been repeating it all through the live. I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but I constantly pay attention to things I say, and then I just notice that I'm saying that over and over again, and then I just can't get over it anymore.
Well, you know what happens to me? I overanalyze the things that I say and think
Yeah,
about them later, and that's really annoying.
it happens. It happens for sure.
So I'm not putting one sentiment on this card. I'm putting three.
Ooh, that is
All you need is
fabulous.
love. Fall in love with as many things as possible and be in love with your life. So it's all about love.
Yes, that's like a perfect trio. Fall in love with things, but just not too much, or you will start hoarding them.
True.
Yeah, happens. But that's also a great thing about printables. You don't have to hoard them.
Right. They definitely take out that hoarding tendency. They
Yeah,
definitely relieve that feeling for me anyways. Diane says that she wants
absolutely.
everything within arm's reach. That's how I work, Diane. It makes for a cluttered mess, but I can spin in my chair and reach a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, for sure. And I've got like super short hands, so it's not a long reach. But I still,
Right?
I want
So it needs
everything
to be
right
even
here.
closer.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I said yeah. Yes, yes, absolutely. It's a struggle. It's a never ending struggle. I think I'm going to use one of these bigger tags in the background. Somewhere in there. Maybe. What are people saying?
Well, I was just reading myself.
I'm sorry, Jen. I hope your day gets better from now on.
Me too. My day started really rough. Um, and I started at 3 a.m. with a migraine, and my son coming into my room saying, I think one dog has vomited and the other one has peed. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to pull this off today? Can I function today? Can I have Salla on my channel? Am I going to let her down? It was definitely I had a moment at 3 a.m. And then I was like, I hate canceling on people. I really do. Um,
Mm,
you know, I'm because not only would I be canceling on you, but I'd be canceling on everybody. And I was like, I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to power through. And I took care of all the things and all the dogs and all the people. And I'm here. And I tell you what, by 7:30, when it was time for me to come to my desk, I couldn't have been more ready. I was so glad I didn't, give in and cancel or anything.
yeah, but you got it done. You started going. You did one thing at a time because that's all you
Yep.
can do.
Yep.
And also keep in mind if you ever have to cancel, people will understand. But
Oh,
I've
I know.
yeah, but I've been in the same position, kind of like wanting to cancel, but then later on understanding that if I had cancelled, I would have regretted it later on.
Right. Sometimes we got to push through. And
Yeah.
days can go sideways, and um it's always, It's not always easy. Sometimes I just go back to bed. Um, it's not always easy to turn them around, but if you can, if you have the willpower and the motive, you can turn it around. And if not,
Absolutely.
just go to your craft room. Go to your crafty place, your happy crafty place.
And if that doesn't work either, tomorrow is
A new
another
day.
day.
Yep,
Mm.
that's right.
So, what shall I do here?
Well, I added a
I don't
big
know.
bow. That's what I did. I
Oh,
added a
wow.
huge
That's
bow to mine.
fantastic. Yay. It works.
It works. I think it's
Yes,
tying everything together nicely,
perfectly.
even though it's glued on.
Well, if it's not glued on, it will not hang on. So
That's
there we
right.
go. Hmm. I'm definitely not sure what I'm doing here, but I'm doing something.
So, are you
I'm
still
sure.
working on your journaling card, or are you on to something else?
I think this is my third journaling card. I have 3 things done so far.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just pushing
You're
through.
trucking.
Yep,
I
I
like it.
certainly am. I don't know how, but sometimes this happens. Like, yeah, let me show ya. They are really simple. I didn't do much. It's
That's all right.
just,
You don't have to.
yeah, it's just collage and some pieces of paper.
Nice.
That's how it usually goes.
Well, I have my second card done now.
Yay! It's. I think that bow was like a really good goal. Um, when you had the flowers down, I was like, that doesn't need anything else. But I really like the additions.
Right?
But that's
I
what I think you said that in yesterday's live too. Just keep going until you love it.
exactly. That's what I had to do. I liked it. Now I love it.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Two
Hmm,
down.
I don't like
Three.
that. I'm trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like, and I'm only finding things that I don't like.
Oh.
uh, I'll, but I can put. Oh my goodness, I'm definitely overthinking this. I think.
Hmm. I know that
Hmm,
feeling.
yeah. I mean, I usually never overthink. If somebody believed that, shame on them. But yeah, I think this needs something blue. Perfect. Or not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade.
Right.
That's what I keep telling myself.
I got to read Maddie's comment. Maddie says, I put away all of my Mother's Day gifts without a haul video as I would usually do because I was embarrassed at how spoiled I am. You should not be embarrassed by that.
Mm-mm.
I know it's, we are definitely, I would say collectively as a community on a whole, and I am generalizing here, a lot of people are trying to use their stash. I think that is definitely where people are at. And I respect it. I get it. I'm there too, even though I keep shopping. Um, but there are a lot of people, Maddie, who are for the first time discovering this hobby. And there are a lot of people who like to vicariously live through halls of others, or see what's out there. It's always interesting to see what people pick up and to hear why they maybe chose those items, and like there's usually a variety of things going on, and also it's interesting to see hauls of different paper crafters because paper crafters craft in different ways. So I would say share your haul, girl. Be proud of it. And I know I always feel spoiled when y'all send me stuff. And, I know um, I'm terrible with my budget and I buy all the things. So I don't share them all. I don't do hauls every time or anything because somebody might lock me up. Um, so I get it, but at the same time, don't be ashamed and you don't have to hide it, and you can celebrate it, you know. And if you were spoiled on Mother's Day, then I think it's a good thing.
Absolutely. And there's always the thing that I keep telling myself, if somebody doesn't want to see it, they simply won't watch it.
True. Absolutely. And there are people who don't want to see hauls, and there are people who do want to see hauls.
Mm. Something for everyone.
That's right.
Hmm. Do I want
How you doing over
there?
there? You let me
I'm
know.
hanging on.
Okay, well, let me know whenever you're good. I'm good. You don't have to marathon it with me. There's no pressure
I'm
here.
um and I could say the same for you because I'm just so happy to be crafting with somebody. It's been a long while, and
Oh,
I do like the lives because I get to see people and
I
talk to people
know.
and so on. So
Well,
it's
I feel
nice.
lucky. I'm blessed to have you here and
Oh,
glad you're here. So thanks for saying yes.
absolutely. And I've had this in my mind so many times, but I've always forgot. Thank you, Elizabeth. I've been seeing you sharing my links over there. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Elizabeth's
She's doing a
great.
great, yeah, she's doing a fantastic job.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
She could be gone by now, but
Right? Oh, she's here. How
oh, cool,
sweet.
awesome,
Yeah, I love our community. It's just the
absolutely.
best.
Mm.
It's the best.
It's nice to be a part of this community.
Mhm.
I made that sound super weird, but let's not
No,
talk
it's
about that.
true. When we were on that so we drove 24 hours straight to get to Florida for our vacation back and at Thanksgiving, and my husband and I were talking, and I was like just talking about like, oh, I'm going to miss having my lives and being with my people this week. And I was trying to convey to him just how special it is and how sweet everyone is, and just that we really are. There's this closeness, there's this friendship and kindredness that is very genuine and is very special in our community. And not just
For
here on
sure.
my channel, but I'm talking about the greater, because what I love is when I go to other people's channels and I see people who come here and bless me with their kindness, and then I see them blessing others with their kindness, and I love to see that everybody just sprinkles all that love all around to everybody that they can. And I just love it. I just love our community.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And all together, it's just, it's
It's
nice
a
to see
blessing.
people supporting each other instead of
Yeah,
just putting people down like too often happens in the real world.
right. It's nice to have a safe and welcoming and warm escape. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen or you're very familiar with like the old TV show called Cheers here in the United States with Ted Danson.
No,
But
I don't think I've ever seen it.
essentially, basically, the theme song was like everybody wants to go where everybody knows your name and everybody wants a place to go, a place to be a part of something, a place to where everybody knows your name and they just accept you. And I think
Mm,
that that really kind of exemplifies what we have as crafters together and what we build together through these lives and through the comments and when we hop around and go everywhere, share all the love. It's very special. Everybody is happy you're here and you're you. And, it's a very special thing.
yep. And I always try to keep in mind that leaving a kind comment only takes a few seconds of my life, but it can make somebody else's entire day. So
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think I'm going to make another bookmark because I'm actually not going to put those bookmarks in journals. I know that my children will be claiming them, so I need to make two
Oh.
so that they can fight over them.
Oh, yeah, everybody needs one.
Yeah, and they keep kind of losing them here and there.
Oh, me
So
too.
mm,
I need more. I'm always saying I need more bookmarks. I want to make myself more of the hidden paperclip bookmarks because I really like using those because they don't slip down your page. You don't like, I usually, if I'm carrying a book, it's going places. I'm leaving the house with it. And so I like the hidden paperclip bookmarks because they hold onto the page and I won't lose where I'm at or whatever.
I'm wondering if it would be possible to make the magnetic
Oh, yeah,
bookmarks by yourself. That would be cool too.
absolutely.
I have these magnetic squares, I think they are. Yep.
Hmm.
But I think they need like something that they can hold on to, like something metallic. So that might be tricky in a way. I will have to think about it.
There's
Come
um
on.
there's this place you can go called YouTube.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah. And it's real
Yeah.
funny because lots of people figured lots of things out and then they just share it for free.
Impossible. No. But I don't know. It's like if I go on YouTube and I think I'm going to end up making something that usually does not happen, I
Right.
just
You
end
get
up
lost in
spending my
the
day.
scroll. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. Have to set yourself a time limit. Oh, now I have
uh,
that song stuck in. Was it Maddie? Was it you or Jennifer? Jennifer's head. The Cheers song. Yeah,
I've
I
been
know. It's
through a
stuck in my head
desert
too,
with a
Jennifer.
horse with no name. I'm just reading John's comment and I'm so confused.
We probably missed
uh,
the context.
Probably, but that seems like an interesting scenario. Uh, but now I feel bad for the horse. I think it needs a name.
I think what he's referring to is a theme song, and that's the
Oh,
lyric of the theme song, is my guess. Oh,
okay.
yeah, it's a song. I don't know this. What song is it, John? It's not coming to me. Cool, Johnny.
We need to name the horse after John.
The horse is
John
named
Jr.
Johnny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Johnny. No,
Johnny.
Johnny Jr. to make it even more. I don't know what.
Well, I just have to use your circus tickets. I was so excited you had tickets to the circus in this kit. So I grabbed myself a zebra
Awesome.
and I'm going to use some of these circus tickets.
I have tickets to vintage rave. I've got tickets to circus, and I've got so many tickets that I have no clue where they work. Like this one. It says Dixet Punter PS Hatur. It's AI language.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
And then there's Ticket Oner Mirua.
Well, the rave did crack me up. And then when you said you had to include tickets to the rave and you were imagining a vintage rave, I'm going to have to make a card on that.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
We'll have to do that one next.
Yay.
I love prompts like that.
It's wild. It suits you.
Right. Exactly. Let's explore that, shall we? The vintage rave. I wonder what they called them back
Absolutely.
then. We know they had them. We just don't know what they called them.
Maybe it was like Forbidden Paul. I think that's what they would call it.
Right. Well, there were the speakeasies. When alcohol was forbidden in the States, they would have a speakeasy, which would be hidden in the basement of maybe a regular restaurant or whatever, and you had to have a secret code to get in the door to be able to get inside, um, so that you could go in and partake in beverages that had been outlawed. And they called
That's
those
interesting.
speakeasies.
Huh. I think pretty much every country has a time in their history where alcohol was forbidden.
Mm.
We have
Everyone's
those
tried
that
it, but
see.
it just hasn't taken.
Yeah.
Zinjan says she loves the speakeasy era. Yeah,
Oh,
that could work.
a couple of years ago, or maybe more than a couple of years ago, I think it's been like maybe 7-ish years ago, there was this hidden bar near where I live, and I went there. It was fun. The waiters were wearing like old clothes and so on.
Oh,
Like
so it
it
was
was
probably
really,
based on like the speakeasy idea.
yeah, probably. It's I don't need. I think it was like 20s style
Uh-huh. Yeah,
or
that was
something
during the
like that.
20s.
Yeah.
With the flappers and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and fancy hair and
Uh-huh.
that
Oh
was
my
fun.
gosh, all the fringe skirts and sequins and all that. I've always loved the flapper hairstyles because the women were rebellious and they cut their hair into those bobs, the short bob haircuts.
Yeah. I keep saying yeah. I'm so sorry if somebody
Oh,
else is as triggered by it as I am.
nope.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just going to speak for everyone and say, nope, it's not
Okay,
bothering me at all.
cool.
Whoa.
It's bothering me a lot.
Well, I probably just bothered some people because I took your paper and crumpled it up.
But
And
that's perfectly fine. It brings more
I'm
texture.
sure that probably bothered somebody. They're like, "Wait, what is
Uh,
she doing with that paper?"
it's okay. It's okay. She can print more.
Mhm. Yep.
There's more where that came from.
Can y'all guess who's calling me right now?
Your mom? Your husband?
My husband.
Oh,
Bless his
it's.
heart.
Oh.
He hasn't figured it out yet.
My dad was trying to call me a little bit before we went live, and I tried to call him back, and then he didn't reply, or answer. So I just sent him a message. Hi, I saw you called. I tried to call you back, but I'm going live, so I can talk to you. But he tried to call me anyway.
Of course. No, my
Yeah,
mom's
yeah.
figured it out. She'll always be like, "Oh, I know I need to call you before 8 on Sunday if I want to get a hold of you before like
Oh,
noon, or not on Sunday, but on Saturday." She's
she
like, "Yeah,
has
I
cracked.
know.
She
I
has
know."
cracked the code.
She has moms are going to crack the code when it comes to getting a hold of their children.
That's true.
We will figure it out.
We bought my daughter a phone when she went to first grade, and I think that was too early.
Oh, really? We got our son got one in 6th grade and our daughter got one in 5th grade. And maybe that's just the dilemma of parenting these days cuz even I'm like, was that too early? But they were going to be at different schools and their schools were like across town and I wanted them to be able to get a hold of me. So
Absolutely.
I think it's just something we question no matter what. And that's a decision each family has to make individually for their own reasons.
We were mainly, I guess, concerned that everyone else would have a phone. You know how
Oh,
kids are these days, they have tablets in their hand when they're only 3 years old or something like that.
yeah.
So we decided to buy her a phone. Obviously, it's really restricted. We have to allow every page she wants to go in the internet. We have an app for that. Um, she can only use the phone for a certain limit of time, and then it gets locked automatically.
Mm.
She doesn't even take it to school with her, so
Yeah,
it
that's
has a lot of
luckily they've
limits.
come
But
out with phones like that now where they can lock it down a little more and as a parent you can have restrictions and things on it.
it's
That's,
really a must these days.
yeah,
Internet has gone so sideways that
our world has gone sideways.
absolutely.
I think
But
the internet just reflects that.
well, it's the same people on the internet and outside it. So
Right, exactly. It's just reflecting. Oh, this is so fun. I'm having a wonderful time with your kit.
awesome.
When I was sitting and fussy cutting, I was like, "Ooh, and I was thinking of all the things. And luckily, I'm able to recall them and they're coming together.
That's so fantastic. Like I said, I would be so thrilled to see what everyone is making, and I already am thrilled because you have
Yay.
made so many gorgeous things today alone. I
This is
think it's
fun.
awesome.
Lots of fun.
Great.
Thank you for blessing me with it.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy that you decided to craft with it today because
Yep.
I was like, when I sent you the peek of it, I was like, you don't have to. You really don't have to.
I know you're so silly. I was like, no, let's do it. I'm totally on
uh,
board. I love it. Okay.
that was
Now let's
awesome.
see if I can line things back up the way I had them. Probably not. And that's okay.
Mm, I thought I had plenty of flowers, but now I'm running out of flowers because I love using them a little bit too much.
Well, I would pass some
Let's
your
see.
way, but they just won't go through the screen.
Luckily, I have like a bunch next to me, but they're not cut yet. So there's that, but it's fine. I will be cutting some shortly. I'm not sure if I was even in the frame. I think I was.
I know I keep kind of trying to get myself to think of that.
It's a
Think about
struggle.
staying in screen on in the frame. Got to stay in the cut.
But I think we have done a fabulous job so far. Maybe.
Yes.
And we have even read some of the comments. I'm
Yeah, a
so proud of
few.
us.
Bethany's here. Hey, Bethany.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Who have I
She's got
not?
little ones
Well,
like you. Y'all have children that are about the same age.
really, that's
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah.
I feel for her.
Well, I started card making when my daughter was, let's see, she was about 2.5 when I started. So I started when I had littles as well.
Mm, so tiny. Um, my partner's brother has a newborn baby. She's just
Oh,
two
wow.
months old. Yeah, and I saw her yesterday. She's so sweet.
Oh, I love babies.
Exactly. They're so cute and innocent, and they won't mess with your nerves.
Right.
Kids are great, but they really know how to be little rascals.
Oh, yeah. Well, and my brother was like, you've never known stress or worry like you will once you become a parent. When we were told him we were trying and we were going to become parents for the first time and stuff, he was like, you're going to really know what stress and worry are. Nothing will
Mm,
stress you more than the wellness of your children, the care that you have for them, the love that you have for them.
exactly.
And
And
he
it
was
was
right.
just absolutely, uh, it was just one day when my daughter has started the first grade and she didn't come home. Um, we were wondering where she was. My partner went to school and she was nowhere to be found, and the
Oh
school
god.
was locked at that time. And we were like, I was in full panic mode. My partner was already calling the police because at that point she didn't really have any play dates or anything like that with anyone. So we thought that she didn't go to any of her friends or anything like that. Obviously, that's what had happened. She just went somewhere, but
Mhm.
I was in a full panic mode. I just went to the daycare and crapped our younger kid. She was still 3 years old at that point, I think, and drove home. And like I said, my partner was um, on the phone with the emergency center. And but at that point, when I drove back and came to the yard of the house where we live, I saw my daughter running towards me. And at that point, I could see that she had a full panic mode on as well, because she had probably realized that we would be so worried because the school had ended and we couldn't see her. So, um, and she never did it again after that
Yeah.
point. But
I
it was
did
a
that
moment.
to my parents so many times throughout my childhood. Um
Mm,
and yes, had police searching for me, all the things. Oh my goodness. So I probably got it coming to me. But
uh,
as children, you don't, you know, your brain's not developed. You can't think of all the things. But yeah, one
Exactly.
day I stayed home from school. I was really playing hooky, is what we call it here, when you're pretending to be sick, but you're not really. And I was in kindergarten, so I was 5. But my friend who lived down the street was 4, and I wanted to play. So I wasn't sneaking out of the house like, in a rebellious way or anything at all. I just like left the house while my dad was working in the shop and went down and was playing, and he didn't know where I had went and was searching for me. Of course, their house was the last house he went to.
Absolutely. It always is.
And that
Every
was the
time.
only spanking I ever got in my childhood. Um
Oh.
from him. I got one from my dad and one from my mom, but I understand, like, he was just so scared. He was just so scared about what had happened to me and where I had gone. And then another time I was in a parade, in a dance class, and my teacher had told us we could all leave, but my parents weren't there yet. And I walked
Mm.
across town a few miles to get home, and cops were searching for me. My godparents, everybody was looking for me. And I was sitting at home going, "Where is everybody? Um,
Oh my goodness.
this is weird. Are they still at the parade? I thought the parade was over."
Oh.
Children will wonder.
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
I got another card done as we were chatting. Um,
That's so
Relax.
fun.
We're all crazy. It's not a competition. I used the snarky for my circus card.
That makes so much sense. That sentiment is just perfect.
I have some friends I can give that to.
I'm sure.
Well, everyone in the chat is like, "Oh my gosh, that's so scary." Um, yeah, it. Mm. Oh,
It is when it happens.
it is.
Although you know the probability is that
They're
they're
okay.
just, yeah, they're okay. They just, you know, they went somewhere. They got distracted. They saw a squirrel or whatever. But the same thing happens to us adults too.
Yeah. Oh yes.
but but you still, it you go into a full panic mode when
Oh
your kids are
yes.
not where they're supposed to be.
100%. 100%. I mean, what's so funny is I'm discovering, like, because we have a teenager now, so that's a whole nother thing, right? As far as
Oh
like them
goodness.
being independent and leaving the house, and you're stuck at home just worrying about them. And
Hmm.
I thought I would be the nutbag about it, but it's actually my husband who was most anxious when the kids are away. Bless his heart. He he seems to struggle with it even more than I do, and I thought it was for sure going to be me. And one day probably what's going to happen is he's going to get his emotions under control with it, and then it'll be my turn.
It's really important to take turns in parenting. So
Right?
yeah,
So this is his turn. I'll have my turn later.
absolutely.
I've got a
Makes
ticket
sense.
to a rave. I'm going to do I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to make a card based on your idea about a Victorian or other era rave, if you're okay with that.
Absolutely. I'm completely fine with it.
Okay.
I'm just happy you jumped aboard with that idea.
I love that idea. I'm always looking for a plot twist, so I love it.
I think it's about your previous what are they called, like serious or themes that you worked with when you were doing the Margaret Miller
Mhm.
collage things.
Yep.
Um, those were fabulous too. It's
Yeah,
like
one of my favorite series that I did, I actually have those nearby. Let me grab those. Was my stories, the portraits. Let's see. My portrait series with, let me grab them.
that sounds like payback time, Diane.
So I went through a period where I was using those Tim Holtz portraits, characters that he did, and
Mm.
I made a whole series. Like here's my circus one from then. Um, but I loved using the portraits and creating stories around them. And like this lady was an author, and we had somebody at the circus, and this guy was into chess, and he was a great chess player at a university. And it's just so
Those
fun
are
to
so
create these
awesome.
stories. And this little boy wanted to be a marine biologist. And it's just so fun to take those portraits and like conceive of a story to go with them.
Absolutely.
All right.
So fun.
So I need some party people up in here.
That's the another. I think. What shall I do with this one?
Thanks, Linda. Oh, your bookmark. I think you're making a bookmark. It's so pretty.
Thank you.
Is
Yes,
that what
I'm
that
making a.
is?
Yes, it's a bookmark. It's bookmark number
Awesome.
2 for today. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the topper. If I want to put a topper at all. What's this? I could put the number 45 here. I think that's what I will do. Because why not?
That's right. There are no mistakes. Things can just go in a different
and
direction, but there's no mistakes.
and no regrets or regrets or whatever you want to call them.
Right. That's right.
Found it so funny. I think it was Dawn, not sure, yesterday in the chat who said like no regrets because there's there's a tattoo.
Oh, that
Somebody,
someone misspelled it.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah. We were talking about that. I think those the tattoos with words in them are the riskiest ones you can get because of misspellings.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you are taking a tattoo in some other language, like
Oh,
many
for
people do
sure.
Chinese,
Oh, I
and
know.
then they use the internet translator for it, and you never know whether it's going to be like what you really
Right.
wanted it to be, or just an order at Chinese restaurant
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
saying something like mushu pork or
Yep. Bye,
funny.
Sinjin. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank
Have an
you. Have a
awesome
nice
day.
day.
We're glad you were here. These
Have
people are not raving like I need them to. I'm going to have to go to my collage books and I'm going to
mm,
have to pick some different, more rave types. These people are
yep.
very conservative.
But you could also put some like eyelash trim around their heads or something to make it more more of a body.
I want them dancing.
Hmm.
But you're
Well,
right.
it's a rave. Obviously, they have to be dancing.
You could have them like, could alter them and make them fun, right?
Mm.
But I think my collage books will have some rave-tastic people in here.
Those books are fabulous.
I love these. Do you have them available to you guys in
I have
Finland?
no clue. I have not. I mean, we have some sticker books.
Mm.
Wrong way around. Oopsie.
Because I know that some of a lot of these are printed like on demand when you order them, which makes me
Mm.
think that they're available in most. Obviously, it has to be in a country where they have um, that service, but I think that they're available, a lot of them, anyways.
And when you talk about Amazon and so on, we don't have our own version in Finland, but there's like one in Germany where we can order from.
Oh,
But
so y'all don't have
obviously,
Amazon in Finland?
nope. Not to my knowledge. I think there was at some point um, talks about building a contribution center.
Fendi. Sorry.
She does
Sorry.
not like Amazon.
She is just very, very active
Doki.
and skittish and barks. Barks. She's a barky
Oh,
type.
well,
But she's also lovely and I adore her and she's sweet and she's soft and she's adorable. So we put up with it.
oh,
She was actually my
I would.
niece's dog. And then my niece gave her to her dad, which is my brother. And
Mhm.
then he had too many dogs. So he also has like 20 chickens and a whole thing going on. So he gave her to my mom. So she's definitely like a family dog. And that makes her even more special.
Oh, she's seen it all.
Yeah, she's been with all of us at one point or another.
That's so lovely. I would really, really, really like a dog too, but with small kids and all that,
You have enough on
it's
your plate.
it's probably not smart to take on a puppy at this point.
Yeah,
But uh,
you have enough dependents.
absolutely. But
I
I'm
get
thinking when my younger daughter goes to school, maybe then it's going to be like a perfect time to take or adopt a dog because then my older one will be on fourth grade. So even though I can't really count on it, she might be able to
help a little.
help a little bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
But right now we only have 3 guinea pigs.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
I well, it's it's basically the same thing as having one. They live their own life in their cage. We had two in the beginning, the frozen guinea pigs. One was called Elsa and one was called Anna. But then
Wonder where
sadly,
those names came from.
who knows? It's like totally random.
Right.
But Elsa ended up dying. So
Aw.
because guinea pigs are like herd animals, there
Mm.
always has to be two or more of them. And what I thought was, oops, that we would take two more so that we won't end up being in the same position straight away again. Because yeah, right now the oldest one is 3 years old. Then we have one that is 2 years old, and then we have one that is 1 year old. Obviously, it's okay whenever they get older and they pass eventually. If the last one is super old, we won't take another one. Then she will just have to live on alone, and will keep her company. But altogether, it felt like a smart move to, have more than just one. I'm not
So
sure what I'm explaining here, but I'm pretty sure I was
they're
explaining the
communal.
whole.
Why you would
Yeah,
have three. Yeah.
exactly.
I'm following you.
It was a long story. I apologize.
You're fine. You're fine. Hey, Noreen. How you doing? So good to see
Hello.
you. So, you know how it is when you're in a live, you're like, okay, I'm making something, so I got to keep moving. And then there's a chat, and it's hard to see what your companion's been working on. I cannot wait to
Yes,
see what you've been working on. Um, I'm a
I've
little
made
behind.
like I made like super quick projects. I've not made anything like yours.
Well, that's
I
okay. But I love that. I love that we're working on different things. Like, I like that you're making journaling cards and junk journal ephemera, and I'm over here about to be making some really crazy cards. Um, but just for the
have
fun of
we
it, I
seen
mean, it's
anything
only
else?
paper.
I was just wondering, have we seen anything else but crazy cards on your channel?
Ah! Yeah,
And
I
that's
mean, I
why we
think
love them.
sometimes I can
Well,
pull
well,
off
yeah.
something. But definitely, if you want something completely out of the box, this is a good place to hang out.
Absolutely.
I will
I love
deliver
it.
on that.
I'm trying to organize my stuff so that I know exactly what I have in here and what I can hence use. This is a big clock. Hmm. Do I have anything else? Sorry for the reach. There we go. Hmm. It's a bit small. I'm just thinking about whether I want to put a clock on the card, but I don't think I will at this point.
Mm.
It's just this one. Oops, that was actually the bigger one. Let's see. I think that might work, but I'm not sure what to pair with it. Let's see what I have. Because I have all my Fussy cut items in this box, and it's great, but they are also really piled up, so it's kind of hard to see what I have. So now I'm just putting it all on my desk, which will probably be making me crazy right about here. But at least I know what I have.
Yep, gotta
I
see it.
Yeah, I forgot I had these violet ones. These would be nice. There we go.
This is definitely weird, unusual. I've never made a card like that, which makes it even better. I mean, it's all just paper, right? And I don't know who's going to want a rave card when they go through my stuff, because I just let people go through when they come over and they want cards. I just give them drawers full of cards and let them go through and pick what they want. It'll be interesting to see who picks the rave card. This is a test.
Nobody knows.
This is a test.
Well, let us know when you find out
Right?
who
Oh
fell
my
for it.
goodness. I'll never forget one time when I was managing the reggae band, we played at a rave, and I used to make,
Oh,
jewelry for the shows and stuff because that was how I made extra income back then is I would sell my handmade jewelry at the shows. And I
nice.
remember going and getting like a whole bunch of glow in the dark beads and like making a whole bunch of glow in the dark jewelry when we went to the rave, and I sold out. I made like, I don't know, I remember making like $400 on silly jewelry that night because that's what people
Wow.
wanted. You got to cater to your audience.
And you literally never know what people will like.
Right.
People have such different tastes. Oh, thank you so much, Linda. I'm so glad to hear that you like them. I cannot wait to see what you make with them.
Okay, I'm just playing around here. I'll make this my last project.
Mm-hmm.
Although we've had a couple of outbursts from the dogs, I would say by and large, they're doing much better than I anticipated. I was afraid we were going to make it about 20 minutes and then I'd be like, I can't do this. I got to go. So, all in all, I'm pleased.
Exactly. Dogs have been doing great. They deserve some treats after this.
Oh, yeah. I gave them some before as well. It's like, maybe I should just go ahead and give them some in advance.
Hmm. I'm kind of indecisive. I think the purple ones would look kind of nice with these yellowish papers because of contrast and all, but at the same time, I'm not really feeling the purple today. I'm not team purpling
Not Team
on this
Purple
date.
today. Does it change?
No.
Or are you just never
No.
Team Purple?
Honestly, well, I used to be really, really, really team orange. Like, I couldn't even
Mm,
imagine being ever anywhere near team purple. But these days, I can pretty much work with anything. But
nice.
come on. But today, I'm just not feeling the purple for some reason. Or maybe they are just the wrong shape. Ooh,
I
I
worked
think
on
I
a
will leave.
marketing team one time with a girl, and she was the most team orange person. I never knew a person could like a color as much as she did liked orange. Her car was orange, her couch was like everything was orange. But she did it in a way that really worked. But
Ah,
like, I mean, it was it was
it
wild.
was a
First of
lot
all, I
of
didn't even know
orange.
they made that many things in the color orange. You know what I mean? It was just like, whoa. And she was fully onto Team Orange.
I can kind of imagine. There are some people like that, like you think of them and you see a color basically. It's so cool.
Mm.
I'm not like that. I don't really have a color, or if I had a color, it probably would be black. So there's that. But
I've always liked all the colors of the rainbow.
oh,
I've always just liked them.
I I used to like the muddy colors more, like
Mm.
not the bright ones, but these days I'm not sure if I really have a favorite. Really,
I picked yellow back in about 2000. And if I have to pick a color, it's my favorite. But if I don't have to pick a color, I won't.
I'm honestly for years I've been trying to figure out what my favorite color would be, and if I absolutely have to pick, I would say team. Well, Elizabeth is saying team green.
Oh,
Um,
she's very much
that
team green. Yeah.
yeah, but that or blue or teal, something like that. Those are probably my colors. But when it comes to crafts, I really don't have a preferred color. It depends who I'm crafting for, because I'm rarely crafting just for myself.
Yeah.
It's usually my daughters or my dad or whoever happens to have a birthday or whatever. So
Is that how you like to craft? Do you like to craft with a specific person in mind, making something more customized?
for the most part, yes. That's what ends up happening. But um, there are some exceptions. Like right now, I'm making a blue journal with birds and so on. I'm just doing that for fun. Well, I personally like the color scheme that it has. Hold on, can I perhaps fish it under the pile? Um, I tried to get stuff out of my desk before the live. So this is what I'm working on right now. It's
Oh,
from
beautiful.
yeah, it's a fun kit. This is from Silver and Sparkles. So yep, that's what I'm
Awesome.
working
That's
on.
love that. I love blue too. Like blue would definitely be a close second to a yellow for me.
Mm,
Um,
it's there's something really calming about the color
yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
Mm, do I want this
Yeah, I like
doily
blue and
behind?
yellow together as well, Norma. Blue and yellow go well. I also like yellow and like magenta and orange. I like those three together.
I I don't know. We are taught at the young age that blue and yellow don't go together because those are the colors of Sweden.
Oh no.
Well, that's obviously just a
Ah,
joke, but
that's a regional opinion.
absolutely, it's like, um, well, I don't know. It's not a big deal. Obviously, they are also colors of Ukraine, which we
Right.
are very much supporting. So maybe
Oh,
it's different these days.
right.
Hmm. I'm starting to get like really, really undecisive,
Oh yeah.
trying to
Your
figure out what
you
I want to put there.
your brain
But
is like, and we're done.
yeah, about like that. But
Yeah.
it's not too
We
bad yet.
we are almost done. We're almost there. I have to finish this card if that's okay, because
Absolutely.
I hate leaving
I'll
things
just
undone. Which someone said
and
that's OCD, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, interesting." Um, maybe, but yeah, I don't like leaving things unfinished.
but I believe that's also a side effect of ADHD, because if you leave something
Ah,
unfinished, it will not be finished at
that's
all.
it. That's how my
So
brain is.
yeah.
Plus, I just
So
like the I don't like having piles of unfinished things
no,
because that's
definitely
just it.
not.
I don't know when I'll pick it back up again.
I can't even tell how many unfinished projects and journals I have laying around, or just kits printed, because I started working on them and then I never got back to it
Whoopsies.
because there was another kit that I wanted to work with and so on. I don't think this is a match. No. Mm-mm. It's a good thing that I cut it, but no.
Bye, Flo. Hi, Vicky Rooter. Ooh, yellow and
Bye
gray
and
is nice
hi.
too. Yeah, bye and hi. Sleep well, Diane's going to sleep. Nighty night. Sweet dreams. She needs to get a rest. She's going to be paper dyeing this weekend.
That's fun. It sounds
Yeah.
like super fun. Are there any questions or anything we have missed? I'm trying to keep my eye on the comments
Yeah,
right now,
if we've
so
missed anything, you guys, let us know. We've already had a craft
obviously.
lunch.
Huh.
Oh, hi, Kathy. Well, thank you. The longer the live goes on, the more abstract my ideas become.
That's actually fun. Mine just stopped coming altogether.
You have decision fatigue, and I have random things that sneak in, like this rave card.
Which is awesome. Hmm. Would Now I'm just bringing in all my paper because I don't know what works, but that's so pale. The colors are super soft on the paper, so I feel like whatever I bring, it's just too strong. Definitely no. That's a no. That's a no, 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 no.
Good thing you know a no when you see one.
Exactly. How about a creamy yellow? Even that's like no. Oh my goodness. I feel like
Whoops.
this is about to become a card that was not supposed to be.
You've got it. You've got it. Just keep going. Just keep swimming.
Hmm. Maybe I can continue on my recycled theme. I think that might actually work, but it's not much of a contrast. How about this? Hmm.
I like everything I see on your desk.
It's a beautiful mess,
Yeah, I like that.
and I don't know what it will become in the end, but we'll see.
It's a mystery to you and to all of us,
Exactly.
which is quintessential Biddy Penny. So you're
And
in the right
funnily,
place.
enough, I'm always the last one to know what I was heading towards to.
You're in the right place.
Uh, I'm even thinking, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I'm like a kid in the ice cream shop or something. I have a
Too
lot of
many
stuff, but
options.
kind of just not the right ones. Hmm. I think actually that might work. I just need something a little bit lighter. No, too big. Maybe too big. I think I'm going to go with that selection now. I just have to keep this in a safe spot so that I won't lose it. There we go.
Could you please move the card a little bit? Yes, thank you. Sorry. Absolutely. Okay, I think I'm going to
It's
put the big frame on the bottom because it'll feel more
it's
anchored
definitely not easy to stay in the frame.
with a narrow, yeah, with this narrow view. Thanks for letting me know, Angie. Hi, Katie.
Thank you, Jill.
Go pick up your
Thank you, thank
teenager.
you.
I know that. I know how that goes. Have a fun weekend, Katie, and everyone.
Exactly, everyone else here. I hope the weekend will treat you well and with some deserved rest and so on. Hmm. No, that's not it. That's it. I think I'm going to make a wallpaper card as well.
Oh, go for it. Yeah. We're just inspiring each other
That's how it
to
works in
give
the
and
ideal
exchange.
world.
Yep.
Making some little more of the noise that I started with. I'm just super
There's
noisy today.
I was just telling my son there's pancakes in there. They're so good. I Have you ever had ginger pancakes? Do you like ginger?
Mm, it's a little bit strong for my taste.
Mm,
It depends on where you have it. Like ginger ale is great, but ginger in a tea, that's a little bit
little
too
much.
strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
unless it's mixed with lemon, then it's nice.
Mm, I'm a fan. I love ginger, and I used when I was in college, I worked at a vegan restaurant that
Hmm,
served ginger pancakes, and they were just so good. And it's been a while since I've made them, and I made some the other day, and they're just amazing. So, a great
nice.
ginger, very fine, so there's absolutely no chunks, and you put fresh ginger in the batter before you cook them.
Ooh.
Makes my, like, mouth salivate. They're so good. My mouth is watering. Oh, you make pumpkin. Ooh, pumpkin waffles. That sounds delicious too. Pumpkin is nice because it makes everything so moist and flavorful. I like the flavor of pumpkin too, but it
It's funny because we don't really have that many pumpkin recipes or anything like that over here.
mm,
Zucchini, yes, but not like the orange big pumpkin or squash or anything like that.
they're really pureed pumpkin is great in like cakes and breads and things like that. It makes it super moist, which I know zucchini can too. You have to actually like kind of squeeze the moisture or get the moisture out of zucchini because it can be so wet and
Mm,
can be challenging to bake with because of that.
I don't know. I've been dying to taste things like pumpkin pie and pumpkin bread and so on. You know, the things you have over
Mhm.
there for Thanksgiving mainly, I guess.
In the
But
fall for sure. Yeah.
exactly.
What are some what is a quintessential Finnish dessert? Finland dessert.
Desserts. Well, we have like cinnamon buns.
Mm.
Those are really traditional. Uh, I guess it depends on the family too. Um, blueberry pie is something
Ooh.
we often, or rhubarb pie, that's a thing too.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Right? It would be hard for
uh,
I mean, and people always talk about apple pie, I think, for America, but I don't actually eat that much apple pie. But definitely pie. I think of pie being very American, but I'm sure it's not just in, America, but I always think of pie. We
mm,
have all different kinds of pies. When I was
for some
up at
reason, I always think of cherry pies when
Yeah,
I'm.
cherry pie. Yeah, I love cherry pie. When I
Yeah.
was up at 3 a.m. this morning, I was thinking, we have this pie restaurant here in our town. We're in a small town, but it's growing, but anyways, they have like 50 different homemade pies that they serve a day. It's a pie factory, like restaurant though. the amazing like burgers, but like their pies are what people go there for. And they literally make like 25 to 50 a day that are all different
Huh.
flavors.
That's a lot of pies.
Yeah, a lot of options. And I haven't been
So,
there because it's like I go like once a year, but I was thinking, today feels like it's a day to go to the pie company and get a pie. Feels like a pie day.
hmm, awesome.
The hard part is always narrowing it down because there's so many options.
Especially when there are like many people in your family and you are trying to pick something that would suit them all. I don't know if that's problem in your house, but here it definitely would be.
So in our house, everybody just kind of gets what they want. And like my husband started this thing a long time ago where like if we are going out to eat, like to pick things up, he'll go to four different restaurants if he has to so that everyone can get what they want. And
Oh,
that's kind of what we do because we eat out like once a week. Otherwise, we cook at home. And so that one
yes.
time a week, everybody might want something different and we actually accommodate. So, one person might want Thai and another person wants tacos. And yeah, my husband started that.
That's so sweet of him to do
Yeah,
all
he's
that.
he's very sweet to accommodate in that way.
If I ever suggested that to my partner, he would probably find another house at that point. He would be like, nope, not doing that.
Uh,
Sorry.
Not on my watch. Yeah, no,
No, definitely not.
He'll go to four different restaurants. When he asks what you want, he really wants to know what you want, not what does everybody else want, but what do you want? And he accommodates. Very sweet.
That's so awesome. Well, I'm usually the one who doesn't or can't pick. So I'm actually happy that somebody else makes the decision for me.
For you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm horrible at making decisions, especially when I'm hungry. I'm like,
Oh
no.
yeah. Decisions are really difficult when I'm hungry as well. Decision fatigue for sure sets in at that point.
It's funny. That's but also it's strange when you go to a store, like a supermarket, when you're hungry, you end up buying all
All the
the
things.
unhealthy things,
Uh-huh.
but yet you can't make decisions like, what shall we eat today? No, not the right time to think about that, but hey, let me grab some candy.
Yeah. All the
Oh my
chocolate
goodness.
lands in the basket, all like discipline goes out the window if you go to the supermarket. If I go to the supermarket hungry, anyways, for sure. It's like you get
Uh,
to the register and you're like, we don't need all these sweets. Why was I buying all these sweets? But I guess your body is just telling you, hey, your blood sugar's low. You should eat something.
yep, sounds really, really familiar. Uh, I'm I'm the world's slowest fussy cutter, so obviously I decided to do it in a live.
Live.
Enjoy.
No worries. Why would you only go once a year to a place that has a good pie? That's a good question, Angie. Yeah, I know
yeah,
because I don't know why.
we are questioning your life choices right now, Bitty Penny.
Yeah, I am too. Now that y'all mention it, um, and today is probably going to be. I don't even know what it's going to be like downtown today because they're having their Juneteenth celebration. So it's probably going to be a tricky time to go get a slice of pie. And if I am serious about it, I should go early so I can get the best choice because they sell out because they make so many uh, flavors. They don't make so many pies. So you have to
Hmm.
go while the getting's good and you have the most choice because they will sell out of things. Get there at the end of the
So,
day and you've only got 7 choices.
but not the one that I wanted,
Right.
right? Um, what is the Juneteenth about? I'm not actually
Juneteenth,
familiar.
it's it's acknowledgement and celebration of the freedom of slaves in Texas. They took their time freeing the slaves here,
Mm.
and they were very late um, affording those liberties and freedoms, and so uh, it's that's what it's about:
Oh, okay. Yes.
emancipation of the slaves in Texas, and so yeah. Um, important to celebrate and acknowledge, and there's always our town was actually one of the only cities that I know of in Texas that was founded by a freed slave, and so that's pretty cool. So they celebrate it here.
Hmm. It's well, obviously, if it's just a Texan holiday, that makes sense why I haven't seen it around.
Yeah, but I think
Because
it's celebrated kind of nationwide, but it's because Texas was slow on the jump.
mm,
They were slow.
taking their sweet time.
Uh-huh. Yes.
It's it's wild, like how little time ago after all that all happened.
I
When you
know.
think about
Sometimes
it.
you think you're much further away from that period than you actually are. It's how I usually feel like it was actually not that long ago when I think about the segregation of the 50s and 60s, just the whole civil rights movement. In the grand scheme of things, over the totality of history, wasn't very long ago.
Mm, it's I don't think we've ever had slaves here in Finland. Obviously, there were different types of ways to torture people, basically.
Hmm.
I think every country has things like that, but
Part of that is just the human experience, unfortunately.
mm, yet I keep hoping that people would learn from their mistakes. But
That would be nice,
uh,
wouldn't it?
it would be so nice. But still, every time when I think, surely we won't do the same mistakes again, it happens
Again,
again.
I
Mm.
know. Well, even in fashion, even in fashion, it's like, surely that won't come back around. Oh, no, it does. It
Yeah,
does. It
here it
comes back
is.
around. You're like,
Oh,
I didn't even
goodness.
think that was a good idea back then. How can it be a good idea now?
Oh, it's really something. But
It became a federal holiday in 2021. Well, thank you. Thanks,
21,
Andy.
so it's
Hey,
that new.
Natalie. Yeah,
Okay.
so just relatively new, definitely, as a federal holiday.
Not every
Well, this is
company will
so
have that day as a holiday. That's odd. Here, if we have a national holiday, it's a national holiday, and the companies don't really have any say.
any choice or
If
say
yeah, they can make people work on any holiday basically, but they will have to pay
extra.
extra. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, it's the companies have more say, I feel like. Well, this is a very different card, but I'm not mad at it. I got to trim off the edges. I think it came together.
Absolutely. And as always, I love your cards.
Oh, thank you.
They're so fresh and different and fun.
It's because there's
I
a
think it's
maniac
awesome.
sitting at my craft table. Oh,
Oh,
wait,
who
that's
might
me.
that be? I have
Ah.
one at my desk too, but
Oh,
it's
you
not you.
do. Oh, goodness.
Ah, it's not easy being us, is it?
No, but I wouldn't want to be anyone else.
I couldn't be anyone else, even if I
No,
tried.
you couldn't make me. uh Sparkleheart the other day, I was annoying her purposefully just for the fun of it. And she was like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't be boring. Here, let me try. And I sat there quietly and it only lasted for, a couple of minutes. And she's like, yeah, you can't. You can't even be boring if you try or quiet.
uh,
I think
well,
this has become a birthday ticket. What birthday ticket? A birthday card with a rave ticket and the portraits. What do you think?
absolutely. You have to write like license to party on the inside.
Yes, that's a good one.
Uh,
So all the flowers and the frames came from your kit, and then the portraits came from that collage book.
mm. And even if I may say so myself, and I think I already did, but I think this kit goes perfectly with pretty much anything.
It does.
So
It does. And I
it's
love um how much better would life be if Liar's pants really did catch on fire. But yeah, I love the rainbow of flowers that you did. Um and elements, just the variety of elements.
there's something in every color. That flower doesn't suit at all. I have to find something in here. I don't have anything that would suit. But luckily, I have a lot of these. It's I don't know where I got the energy to make all these pages. It's a mystery. It probably won't happen again, but oh, there's a lot of these.
I love your card. It's
Thank you.
lovely.
Thank you. I'm still trying to put it together though. Desperately looking for a pink flower. I think I'm just going to use one of those arrangements. There we have some, but I think those might be a little bit too strong in color.
I think I found a sentiment to put on the inside. I think I'm going to do the inside real quick if that's okay.
Absolutely, because I'm still very much in the middle of
Okay.
doing something.
Life is not a fairy tale. If you lose a shoe at midnight, you're drunk. I just think
Uh,
that's appropriate for a rave ticket birthday card.
that that card is so epic. It's like it's
Uh,
like we get it. It's your birthday. Go crazy.
yes, exactly. I think I know which friend would pick this card if she was going through my cards.
Uh,
Thank you
it's
guys
too
for
colorful.
hanging out with Salla and I today. It's
Yes,
so
thank you
wonderful
so
having
much.
you all here.
Absolutely. We should do this more often.
Right?
Look, I'm still here and I'm already inviting myself over again.
Well, I don't mind at all. I'm sure
Awesome.
that uh, our friends here don't mind either. We don't mind that idea.
Brilliant. Well, I'm always here anyway in the chat box.
Yes, you are. And thank you.
No
I
worries, it's
appreciate
my
it.
pleasure. It's nice to do something usual-ish here and there.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it how I decided to include the stems on the designs, yet I end up cutting most of them off.
You cut them off. I liked them. I kept as many as I could. There were a few I didn't want a fussy cut, but on another day I probably would. But I liked the stems. I liked that aspect of it.
It's good to have choices, I think.
Yeah.
Like the stems are really easy to cut out if you want to, but still when you need a flower with gem, I mean with I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's good to have options.
It is. And like if you printed the page, you could cut the heads of the flowers off and all the stems off, and then you could print the page again and not cut the stems off. So you've got options, that's for sure.
Exactly, and then you could layer them and make them look like really 3D, like multi-dimensional. My Finglish is failing me.
Well, we've been here a while.
We have, but that's fine. We have had some fun with
Yes.
some crafty goodies.
I hope you
There
guys
we
have
go.
enjoyed it too. Thank you all for spending your time with us here. Who's
You are
crafting?
all wonderful.
Raise your hand. Let us know who's crafting. I got my craft roulette card done this week. I have a
Yay!
super funky birthday card. And and then that fun circus card, which I would think of as an encouragement card. And then I got that real pretty love card done. So quite productive. Look at us
We have
go.
been.
You have a whole pile of stuff done.
I
I can't wait
think
to
I
see it
have
all.
5.
Awesome.
And I even managed to finish the struggle guard.
Yay. Way to see it through.
Exactly. I think I'm just going to put something on the inside. I should not be doing this. This is not smart. Don't do what I do.
That sounds like me all the time.
Exactly. It's like I can't decide anything anymore. I have to, just stop making decisions. And at the same time, wonder if I would put that there or do some more.
Well, it's like me when I'm always like, it would be a good idea if I had more time to do this. And then once I think of it, then I have to do it. And so I end up being here longer than I need to or and planned on. But it's like, well, once I've had that thought, then I got to see it through.
Absolutely. And then there's always the, hmm, I think this card is finished. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I think I'm going to add this one.
Uh huh. Yep. I get there too often. I'll
The
be like, I'm done.
legendary thoughts.
No, I'm not.
Hmm. The struggle is real. Shall I just. Now, I think I'm going to leave this inside unfinished and do it some other day. That's an option too. Because at the end of the day, these are just cards and we can always come back to them later on.
We can. We absolutely can. I'm going to put another flower in here.
Well, you certainly have a lot of flowers now that you can put,
I do.
just like me.
And
I'm
they're
going to
cut
drown in them.
and ready for action.
Exactly.
They're
There
ready
we
to
go.
go.
But I'm actually really impressed with my glue bottle. It's been moody here recently, and I was
Mm.
so sure that it would be all stuck
And it's been
actually in the
cooperating?
beginning already. Yeah, it's been working like a charm.
Nice.
There has been no issues whatsoever. I'm proud of you, little bottle. You've been doing so well.
And I'm proud of my mom's noisy dogs.
Exactly.
Miss Paula Rice is reminding me to submit my craft roulette card. Thank you, Paula. I will. I most certainly will.
But it's only Saturday.
Yeah, I've got time. I might as well just
Mm.
wait until like Thursday and be like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I got to. That's what I'll probably do.
You can wait and completely forget about it at all.
I
Like,
do that
that's
too.
what would happen to me, or what would happen to me.
Yeah, I totally do that as well.
Mm. Oh, the one fun games that we play.
Right? Kathy's crafting. Good, Kathy. I'm glad you're crafting with us today.
Awesome.
And Linda's getting things out to make her craft roulette card. Yay. Oh, Kristen, we love you too. We're so glad you're here.
I'm
Okay.
glad that everyone came here to
I
hang with
know. Thank
us
you
today.
guys. Thanks for
I
humoring us
appreciate
and hanging out with
it.
us.
There we go.
Well, you know, just humoring my weird card here, but I like it. It's just paper. It
It'll
doesn't
be
have to be
great.
perfect.
Absolutely not. I'm trying to tell myself that all the time. Like, it's a handmade card, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Doesn't have to
Repeat
be
after me.
perfect. There might be only one other person on the planet that would really want this card, and that's okay because it's not mass produced anyways. Bendy, it's not put into mass production. I only need to find
Who-
one person who will like it.
and then next year, when you go to buy some cards from the, you know, card aisle, there is a card like that.
Right. Well, I do see a lot of cards that you can tell are like Hallmark cards and other cards that are fashioned after handmade card trends
Mm.
on, like I can tell that they watch what card makers are making and they're fashioning their mass produced cards off of our handmade designs.
Which is funny because often, whenever you talk about the prices of handmade cards, um,
Yeah.
people say, like, I'm not going to pay that much for a handmade card. The store bought are so much
Yeah.
more fancier and more professional looking, and then there go the store bought cards mimicking the handmade ones.
Yeah, and well, the store-bought ones, that the thing that gets me is that they charge a lot more than I think card makers do. So many times I see card makers who are only charging like a couple of dollars for their cards, and Hallmark has no problem charging you like $10, $12 these days per card. I
For
have plenty
sure.
of them that my husband has bought for me. So I always try to encourage people to charge more for your handmade cards. We all know the time went into them. We know you bought a $50 worth of supplies to make that card. You might as well charge $10 for it. $5 at least. At least 5, because trust me,
Mm,
Hallmark is I look at the back of some of the cards that my husband buys for me, and they're literally like $13.
it's sometimes really strange trying to figure out what you should charge for your cards because it's not that simple. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like you said, the store bought ones are often much pricier even than the handmade ones. Yet people are not willing to pay for the handmade versions, which
I
is odd.
know. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't really get that. Um, I've done well with them at craft fairs and stuff. Now I usually charge $5 each, or you can get like 5 for 20 is how I price my
Mm,
cards.
I when I make like super quick cards, it's been usually €5 per one, and then 3 for 10.
Oh, 3 for 10 or
Yeah,
five each. Mm-hmm.
yep, that's what I do. So it's a little bit more in dollars.
Yeah,
So, did you get your card finished? I think you did.
I did. Well, I'm adding a happy birthday on the inside, but yes, I'm ready whenever you are. I'm just adding this one final touch,
Mm-hmm.
which if you show your stuff first, whenever you're ready.
Really? Okay, I can show. I'm not going to go in timely order because I can't even
Don't worry
remember.
about that.
Here is a journaling card, tall and
Awesome.
slim one. Then the
Beautiful.
second one, and the third one, and the final one.
You don't have to
Then
go
I
too
made.
fast. I am like trying to keep up with you. I want to
I'm
see
I'm
them.
I'm so I don't know. I'm too fast.
Oh, they're so pretty though.
Mm, they are kind of
Oh,
like
I
matchy
love
matchy.
them. Oh, I love the
Then
way you did the clocks and the whole I just love everything about them.
oh, thank you. I will try to put them up in here so that they're kind of in the frame. There we go. Then I
I love
made two
your arrangement
bookmarks.
and the clocks, all the different elements came together so perfectly.
Thank you. I also used the rave ticket, but it's a little bit hidden behind the flower. And then, of course, I made an arrangement. And after all this, I ended up wondering where all my flowers were or went.
And now you see them.
Yes,
Now
so
you
many.
know.
Yeah, now I know. And then the final card that I made, and I actually like it. It's okay. And
The
here
bookmarks are
is
beautiful.
the inside.
So lovely.
Thank you. There we
Really,
go.
really lovely.
That's
I love the bookmarks.
oh, thank you.
And the greeting card. I didn't print that page that had those. I guess you had those on across 2 pages. Um,
I
those
think
kind of
so.
like
Maybe even
flowering
three.
cards.
Yeah, they were actually originally stamps, but I decided to make them just like tiles.
Mhm. Lovely. Gorgeous. I like that everything you made has like it's very coordinated. Like they all just match each other beautifully. Like it would be so easy for you to put all that into one journal and it would all make sense.
Absolutely. It's well, I used the same papers.
It's gorgeous. Nice work. So, here are my cards. And this one, you're right, Paula. I do need to add a thank you sentiment to it. I think I'm going to put it on the inside or in here, but I made this with a closure. So, this flap right here, I just scored like a half an inch of paper so that I could glue it onto the back of the card base. And then fold it over the front of the card. So this card is a 5x7. It has a little bit of a closure to it with this flap. So I didn't decorate the inside, but I definitely could. Once I collaged all of this, then I used that second half of that same sheet of paper and did the inside and covered all the pieces that kind of came off the edge and made it one smooth piece. So I think that's going to be my craft roulette card for this week. And then this is my love card with the ribbon and the sentiments about love. All you need is love. Fall in love with as many things as possible and be in love with your life. So, and this is my like faux wallpaper um, card, is kind of what I had in mind when I was doing this. And then we have a funky and fun circus card because her kit had these circus tickets in it, and I really wanted to use them. Says, relax, we're all crazy. It's not a competition. Bye, Angie. Thanks for hanging out with us. Um, but yeah, so there's that one. And then my last rave card, which is the portraits of everyone going to the rave. And they look so dignified, but we know they really like to party. So using the frames um, that were in your kit and the flowers that were in your kit and kind of making a fun background, and of course the rave ticket. And then on the inside, life is not a fairy tale. If you lose your shoe at midnight, you're drunk. Happy birthday.
Those cards are so epic. Like each one of them has completely its own personality, so to say. And I also love like in my cards, the flowers are the main focal point, basically.
Yes.
But in your cards, they're peeking from the side and just kind of like supporting the other elements for the most part, which is super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like, but they definitely, I feel like they tie them together.
Absolutely.
They kind of pull it all together having the flowers there. Otherwise, I feel like they would be really random, but I like how having those flowers. And see, I really liked the ones with the stems. I used a lot of your stems. In fact, that was the majority of what I used were your stemmed pieces. And then of course these clusters, they were just so sweet. And
They're
over
so
here I did
beautiful.
use the flower heads though more
Mm.
to decorate these. But yeah, thank you, Salla. Thanks for gifting me this and sharing this with me. And thanks for coming on and spending so much time. I know you made time for this in your day, and I truly appreciate that. It's so wonderful crafting with you again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me over. And I'm so happy that you decided to jump aboard on this using this kit idea.
Of course, of
um,
course.
it's been super fun. I hope that you will invite me back soon.
I will. I will invite you back. You're always welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. I have a really big craft table, so everybody's invited. Hey, Nima. Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out with us, Esther, Noreen, Paula, Cordelia, Jill, and John, and Froggy. Hey, Froggy. Angie's gone, but Angie and Bethany, and just everyone who's been here all through the chat. All of our silent viewers. Dee Dee was here. Hi, Dee Dee, and Yoo-hoo
Esther and
too.
Flo.
Esther, Flo, you guys, just thank you so much. And Natalie, if you want to spend more time with Salla, which I'm sure you do, then check out her channel, Card Times Ahead. She's also on Instagram and you said TikTok, right?
Yes,
Awesome. Awesome.
thank
Thank
you.
you guys so much. And if you want this kit, it's on her Ko-Fi shop or
Yes,
coffee, whichever way. Um, but it's
some
over
way.
the some way. It's over there, and I will get a link to it. Oh, there's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, thank you for
Thank you,
moderating
Elizabeth.
today and sharing those links. You're the best. Thank you so much. I
You
love
have
you
been a
guys
rock
so
star.
much. Y'all have an awesome weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see all of you guys later. Bye, Sala. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.